Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3.
You coming in clear.
Hi again, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to wherever you may be joining us. We'd like to welcome you to Week 4 of Bakersfield College Renegades football right here on Current News Talk, AM 1180, 96.1 FM, as well as online on the Bakersfield College Athletics YouTube channel. I'm Rob Chavez, alongside my partner, former Renegades captain, coach, and Hall of Famer Kenny Calvin. Julian Wilson is not here, so our technical director today is General Lau. We've got our man Chris Burdick as well, too, holding it down at this station. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Carpet Outlet Plus, Pepsi featuring Pepsi Zero, Luigi's, Hawking, Denton, Palmquist, Golden Empire Youth Football, Barbich, Hooper, King, Dill, Hoffman, Les Schwab Tires, and the Bakersfield, California. Tonight, the Renegades are back home for Education Appreciation Night at Memorial Stadium versus the number 4 ranked Golden West College Rustlers. And they come in as maybe the hottest team in California at the moment. And Kenny, we heard from the coaches over the last 2 weeks, and we talked about it ourselves on air and during the interviews. Last week's game versus Ventura and today's game, we're really going to be jumping off points for the season. Last week, the Renegades, despite 5 turnovers, were still in position to get a win against a very talented Ventura team. This week they face the number 4 team in the state, who are coming off a 55-0 victory over Allen Hancock. But we've seen this before, haven't we, Kenny?
Yeah, and it's one of the things, no buts about it, because 5 turnovers will definitely eliminate you from having an opportunity to win a game. But we're going to move forward past last week and have to deal with the test that's in front of us in this Golden West offense and this dominant running game led by a few guys. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do offensively, as they're a very balanced team. But our defense has a tendency of forcing teams to do what we need them to do, led by guys like Miles Poole on the front end and Richard Gooden on the back end. I'm excited. Let's go.
So we do have actually a little bit of we have a little bit of a delay here. Normally we were supposed to start this game right at about 4 o'clock. It is 4 o'clock right now. We still have our captains out on the field, but Golden West ran into a bit of a delay due to an accident on the highway, so we're going to keep it right over here. Last week, I want to talk a little bit about our players that you really stood out from last game. First of all, again, I started it this week on the early bird special. Carlos Villa still remains perfect on the season. 4 of 4 for extra points. He got a field goal last week. 23 points so far this season. I think overall he has been our most consistent performer of anybody on this Renegades team.
He is our MVP right now based on consistency. We've had some moments where all facets of the game have been very successful, but then we've had some lulls by all of those units from the offense and defensive units. Last week the defense, though we've played spectacular in some individual plays, we gave up too many rushing yards to a quarterback and the running back. But Carlos Villa, in his consistency, has kept us in games all season. So proud of him, and watching him continue to develop into the leader he is for the team. And yes, I just called him a leader of a team, because if you can be consistent in doing your job, no matter what the position is, you become the guy. Right now, he's my guy.
Over the last couple of years, we've also had some defensive standouts. As Golden West is lining up to kick off, the Renegades are going to receive this opening kickoff to start it off. We've got Dylan Johnson and Bubba Nettles back deep to receive. But Drew Underwood and Mario Rivas have stepped up to be essentially that Logan Goodspeed and that Logan Bowers. Those two Logans that we've missed over the last couple of years, we've got guys like Miles Poole and Drew Underwood really filling those holes.
Well, and we still have a Logan in Logan Slayton who's been flying around and making plays when he gets opportunity. So I'm excited. Let's go. Kick's going to be taken at the 7.
So here we go. Bubba Nettles across the 20, across the 25. The big
Ball
hit
is out.
Fumbled. Ball's out, and it's going to get recovered, but we're going to see whether or not he was down.
Well, what's going to happen, they're going to say you can't advance that fumble, but nonetheless, we talk about keys to winning the game and controlling the ball, not turning the ball over. That's going to be a turnover and a fumble, 1st and 10 for Golden West.
But there's a chance that we're going to find out right here as the officials are taking a look to see whether or not he was down, or potentially even if that was some sort of a personal foul call. We don't see anything out on the field right now. So we're going to hear from the head referee.
Ruling on the field is there's a fumble. Golden West had the ball at the time of the inadvertent whistle. The first down.
So there was an inadvertent whistle. So, Golden West already with the momentum, and I'll tell you what.
They just got robbed of a touchdown.
They did, and the Renegades really dodged a bullet. So this is going to be the first test for the Renegades defense here at the 25-yard line with their backs to the end zone already.
I'm rarely speechless, especially when we're at work. But it's just hard to capture that in words. We preach taking care of the ball all week. We were on ESPN radio talking about taking care of the football. And 3 seconds into a contest, we fumble it again. 1st and 10, Golden West. Wow.
So here we go.
Wow.
Noah Banua hands it off to number 22, Aaron Mitchell. Mitchell is one of those backs, who was number 3. 32. Either way, brings it up to about 3 yards to the 22-yard line. It was number 22, Mitchell. Mitchell is one of those two backs, Kenny, that we were going to talk about pregame that is averaging between the two of them 9 yards a carry.
Shotgun pistol formation for the wrestlers.
Here we go. Banua pulls it down. He's going to get pressured. Rolls out to the right. He's looking up. He's got a lot of grass right in front of him, and he's finally going to get forced out of bounds near the 13-yard line. That's going to be good enough for the Rustler first down. Forced out of bounds that time by number 43 for the Renegades, James Moon. Moon checking back in after missing last week's game.
But Noah's the kind of player, he's going to challenge you to keep him contained, or he's going to hurt you. Hurt us for a first down there, 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line.
Hands off to Mitchell. Mitchell right up the middle, and he's bottled up. So that's a good sign right there, Kenny, that we're able to wrap him up. 2 carries for 4 yards combined.
Yeah, and it's a situation for the defense. You can't cry over spilled milk now. You put in a bad situation, not even on a 1 and out, on a fumble, on a kickoff return. Best hopes right now is just minimizing the damage and keeping them to 3. 2nd and 8.
Ball sitting at the 12. Just over 13 minutes to play in this first quarter. We just barely started here at Memorial Stadium. Banua over the middle. His pass is complete to McKissick, the big 6'3", 260-pound tight end out of St. John Bosco. He was told to us that this was one of those blue-chip players that has the opportunity to go to the next level right out of Golden West.
Yeah, but no fault to the defense. It's just a bad situation to be in. As a safety, you got to make sure you're reading the tight end's hat. Eyes in the backfield, yields a touchdown.
12-yard touchdown pass, Banua to McKissick. Now we've got the extra point up, and it is good for the Rustlers. So we're going to take a quick timeout here on the broadcast. We'll be right back with the kickoff right here on Current News Talk AM 1180, 96.1, and on YouTube. And welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Kickoff to the Renegades taken at the 9-yard line by Nettles. Nettles going to get past the 25, right about the same place he got hit last time and fumbled the ball, but he finally gets it up to about the 28-yard line. Excuse me, that was number 36 that took that, Terrell Monk for the Renegades.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay in a positive, upbeat mood with this beautiful sunny day that we have, but it's so hard to do after that first possession by the defense after the fumble. Shotgun spread set.
Carson Woods starts the game at quarterback, hands it to Nettles. Nettles is going to get back to the line of scrimmage, no gain, 2nd and 10. And, you know, there's been a lot of talk about this 2-quarterback offense, Kenny, and we've seen a different quarterback start every game so far this year. Statler started the game in weeks 1 and 3. Now Woods in week 2 and 4 have started.
Yeah, and we don't know because we're not in the minds of coach when he makes the decision.
Woods to Alexander. Alexander across 40. He's still on his feet. He's got a couple men chasing him. He's down at the Rustler 40-yard line. First down, Renegades.
Coach Gass talked about the effectiveness of that young man when we were here at the scrimmage a few weeks ago. And now you see it there on that individual effort. 1st and 10, Renegades.
Brandon Salo, number 3, out of Huntington Beach with the tackle. That was a big gain there for the Renegades. 34 yards to Alexander, who's playing hurt. Coach Dameron was talking about the injury report, which we'll get into. The ball is handed off this time to Jernigan. Jernigan is just past the 40-yard line, may pick up about a yard to the 39, so it'll bring up 2nd and 9. Both of the tight ends, Fowler and Alexander, coming in today hurt. But just like the play-by-play guy up here, we're pushing through it, Kenny.
You know, are you hurt or are you injured is what they say. You definitely are a soldier for being up here in your shoulder sling. 2nd and 9.
So here we go. Now the ball is handed off to Jernigan. Jernigan cuts it up. He's going to get to about the 36, maybe even the 35 for a gain of 3 to the 36. Now it's going to set up a 3rd and 6. One good thing that you see out there is consistency from this offensive line as well, too. They were mixing a lot of guys in and out, but over the last 6 quarters or so, you've seen the same left and right tackles. Jimmy Walls over their big 6'6", 300-pound number 61 at right tackle.
Yeah, and that simple power play yielded 3 yards. We definitely got to execute.
So now ball handed off again to Jernigan up the middle. He's got a first down and more. Still on his feet. Past the 25, up to the 20-yard line. First down, Renegades.
Nice inside run and great job on that cross block by the guard. Jernigan's itching to get back into the coach's good graces as well. He had a turnover last week. Very uncharacteristic of him. 1st and 10, Renegade.
And you got to think Jernigan, with a couple of fumbles last week, is destined for a comeback game right here.
Twins right.
Woods looks over to Nettles. Nettles with the reception and his spin move picks up a couple of yards. It was a dangerous pass as well, too, by Woods.
Yeah, nice touch on the pass. Great tackle out there by that defensive back or linebacker.
2nd and 8 from the 18. Renegades' first trip inside of the Rustler red zone. 9:52 remaining in this first quarter. Renegades down 7-0.
Trips bunch set.
Woods gives it to Nettles right up the middle. And another power play right up the middle gets him to the 14-yard line, setting up a 3rd and 4.
Have to love the desire of the offensive line to create those openings. You know, when you hear about how much success the Golden West Rustlers have had offensively on the ground, you definitely know that Coach Castro and that unit is looking forward to doing the same things.
And again, this Rustler group has given up over 240 yards of rushing every single game so far this year as the ball is handed off up the middle to Nettles. And now this is going to be an interesting call right here. You're going to have a 4th and 3 and a very capable kicker in Carlos Villa, who we've been talking up.
Yeah, and this will be the ideal situation to give him a shot.
The wind is going to be blowing from northwest to southeast, kind of in that direction. So now you're going to see Villa coming out to attempt what's going to be a 31-yard field goal just left of the right hash. Villa, once again, perfect so far this year, 4 for 4. Snap, kick is up, and it is good. Bounces off the left upright and just sneaks over the crossbar. Now we've got a 7-3 ball game with 8:33 remaining in the first quarter. We've been talking about Carlos Villa.
I mean, hey, we joked about him needing a sponsorship from that famous taco place that matches his last name.
La Villa.
How consistent he's been, and now he's got the luck of the football gods on his side as he gets the bounce off the upright. But just, I mean, they run that play, that simple inside run play, based on the confidence that they have in Carlos Villa. And you got to love it. Of course, you want touchdowns every drive, but having a guy like that is money in the bank for an offense. Carlos Villa.
So now you got number 1 Carter Kolsar out to kick off for the Renegades, the freshman out of Tehachapi.
All right, now it's the opportunity for the defense to kind of come out and regain some composure. Because you got to know they were in shock from how they came out last time. You over there getting some water, and all of a sudden, you got to be back out on the field.
Yeah, and it looked like we did have an offsides, and it's going to be a flag, so we'll see what happens here on this kickoff.
Got a tackle.
Good return so far for the Rustlers to get number 4. Tanner Schmidt gets it up to about the 33-yard line, so we'll see if the Rustlers are going to want to accept the penalty and re-kick or just take the return where it's at.
Tanner Schmidt, Special Teams Player of the Week last week for the Rustlers.
For the 3C2A.
All right.
So it looks like it is at the 33. They're going to take 5 yards from that, start at the 38.
You know, when you see this roster, it's loaded with schools that are big time at the high school level.
Nationally. Yeah, you'll see a lot of Bosco, Los Alamitos. You'll see a couple of Servites in there as well, too. As the ball's handed off up the middle. Going to pick up maybe about 5 yards on that play.
Yeah, they go with the ISO to try to get that fullback to be isolated with that middle linebacker. Hoping to generate some distance at that second level, and that's a successful run of 6 yards.
Rivas on that tackle after a significant gain by Kendrick Thomas, number 2. But again, the Renegades, I think, are going to be happy with keeping them under their average of 9 yards a carry so far. It's less than that. Once again, the ball is given to Thomas. Thomas up the middle, and he's going to get maybe 2 more to the 45-yard line, setting up a 3rd and 3. Drew Underwood on the tackle, number 33.
You know, I didn't get to watch the Golden West game, but you have 2 running backs that have a 70-yard run and a 50-yard run. I'm willing to bet the house on it that there were multiple missed tackles on those highlights. You have to make sure that you're wrapping guys up like this to eliminate those second-level runs. And now with 3rd and 4, we got an opportunity.
Yeah, so we're going to have a timeout here. Looks like the Renegades are going to take their first time out of the half with 7:18 remaining in the first, and they'll give us the opportunity to talk a little bit about what we were going to talk about in the pregame. We want to also thank our sponsors once again for bringing you coverage of Renegades football. Carpet Outlet Plus, Pepsi featuring Pepsi Zero, Luigi's, Hocking Palmquist, Golden Empire Youth Football, Barbage Hooper, King, Dill Hoffman, Les Schwab, and the Bakersfield, California. Again, we talked about Drew Underwood last week. Again, we might think that there's a little bit of discrepancy with the stats. Drew Underwood was credited for 12 tackles, but what we didn't see was that Mario Rivas also had 3 tackles for a loss, had 6 tackles overall, and got a sack too. Mario Rivas is leading this defensive line, according to Coach Duncan.
I mean, and that's what you love about a defense. You can't single out one guy that's just taking over, right? You got 11 guys flying to the football. Right now we need that exact effort with 3rd and 4.
So here we go, big 3rd down here for this Renegades defense. Ball handed off up the middle. It's going to be enough for the first down to Kendrick Thomas up to the Renegade 49-yard line, so that will pick up about 5 yards on that carry. Only needed 3.
Yeah, nice inside run. At 3 yards, we had contact, but there goes one of those missed tackles that I talked about. Nice strong running, and now they got tempo. Shotgun spread set for the Rustlers. 40 front for the Renegades in the quarters coverage.
Banua shuffle over to number 2, and a great tackle right there by number 5, Thomas Struck. And Struck was that guy last week who was tasked to be the spy for their mobile quarterback in Ventura.
Yeah, Struck had his work cut out for him last week. But there's a simple, looks like an option play, but it's a speed pitch. Great job getting outside and keeping containment. That's my key word for this week, containment, containment, containment.
Loss of 1 on the play, 2nd and 11 for the Rustlers. Banua hands the ball off to Thomas. Thomas is going to get wrapped up near the original line of scrimmage, only picking up about a yard, so it'll be 3rd and 10. And now you're going to see big number 99, Jordan Berry, coming in the game, as well as number 10, Alex Snow. Snow has been in and out as well with some injuries. He's going to be lined up at that left defensive end.
Trips open set, pistol formation.
Underwood, that lone Mike backer with a couple of outside linebackers outside. 3rd and 10. Now we've got a penalty. Looks like there's going to be movement by the Rustlers. So now with 3rd and 15, you know, pretty much the entire stadium knows that there's going to be a pass play here. Kenny, what are you thinking as a defensive back right here?
You know, I always talk about these situations, long distance, screen or draw. You're definitely going to see that. Sometimes you'll see rocket screens. But if they're going to take a shot, which would not be uncharacteristic, it's going to be to one of these seam guys. Trips open set.
And Banua drops back. He steps up in the pocket, gets flushed. He sees a guy over the middle, and there it was. But you got a guy in Aiden Moreno that was in on that coverage right there. He was looking for David Daniels, a 5'8", 155-pound receiver.
Right, and that's the only route that's going to be open in that concept, because you're hoping that you can get pressure long enough to free up that guy in the seam. The third receiver is what we'll call it. But they tried that skinny post. The pressure didn't allow it to happen. Great job by the defense.
And a good job to A.J. Snow. We just called him out, and he was the one who got that pressured Banua up into the pocket, made him make a hasty pass attempt.
Right, but Renegade Rob, you see why I said screen and draw works better in that situation? You don't have time to throw those kind of deep routes.
Now we got Shanks back there with a fair catch call.
Beautiful.
And he's going to let it go, and it's a great punt right there. It's going to get down to the 2-yard line. That's all really Shanks could do. Again, just like we talk about, we cite him all the time. Coach Van Horn says put your heels at the 10, call that fair catch, and if it goes over your head, let it go.
Yeah, and a beautiful opportunity for the defense to show, hey, we were ready to come out and defend the field for the game, but unfortunately the first drive we started on our own 20. So now you get the stop, you can kind of reset things. 1st and 10 Renegades.
So now it looks like we got Malachi Statler coming out to man this offense.
We got a lot of special guests in the house today. We got to make sure we get to some of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, education appreciation night.
Oh, my goodness.
And it looks like Dylan Johnson was ready to get that one-on-one.
Well, Dylan Johnson heard me say that we needed to give a shout-out to some of the special guests we have. You know, we got South Highs BSU, a lot of educators. Shout-out to my cousin Toot Heron, father of some former Renegade legends himself, down here mentoring the kids and motivating.
So now it's backed up to the 1-yard line after the false start from Dylan Johnson. 2nd and 11. Statler standing in his own end zone and in the shotgun. Jernigan behind him.
Pistol ace formation.
He's got Sabal and Johnson. Gives the ball up the middle. And Jernigan barely gets out of the end zone, avoiding the safety.
So, Renegade Rob, I saw this play before I left in a game earlier. Usually when you're on that 1-yard line backed up so much, Tom Brady made this play famous. You taking a shot. It's just like a sudden change because guys are so conscious of you just trying to get out of the end zone. They're susceptible to these outside one-on-one matches. Look, you got one safety inside.
And now you see both corners kind of drop back. One's going to start coming up to man coverage, and they give the ball to Nettles. Nettles is going to get past the 2-yard line, so pick up maybe a yard. It'll bring up 3rd and 10 from the 2-yard line.
Yeah, because now just the goal is just to try to create room for the punter if you're going to keep running it.
So this is where you usually see Coach Dean and Coach Dameron dial up something special to be able to get them at least 10 yards.
Yeah, but you don't want to turn it over back here either.
Correct.
Be very interesting to see how we approach this.
Sabal checks out of the game. They bring in Fowler, the tight end.
I formation heavy.
Give the ball to Nettles once again. Nettles going to get it to about the 3-yard line. So it sets up a 4th and 9, and we're going to see Aronson come out with the punt unit, and he's going to have his heels at the back of the end zone, kicking into the wind.
Yeah, and it's not a very fan-friendly way of approaching the offense, especially when you're about to kick it to the special teams player of the week for the whole conference in the state of California. You got to make sure you get a good punt towards the sideline, because if this kid catches it, he has potential to go somewhere with it. And I'm going to knock on a little cardboard because we don't have wood up here.
Tanner Schmidt back there out of Stillwater, not out of Stillwater, Oklahoma, Stillwater, Minnesota, as the kick is tipped. And it's a short punt, and it's going to come down at about the 18-yard line. So only a 15-yard punt after they were able to get to it. That was number 41 for Golden West, Zeph Misa.
Field position battle right now. It's a chess match. Golden West taking advantage. The 7 points that they have comes off the turnover created on special teams, but right now they're back in fortunate field position, and they've been down here all day.
So we also had a couple of other high schools out here. My alma mater, East Bakersfield High School, as well as Miramonte. They have some so you have some yard games out here, showing some school spirit for Education Appreciation Night.
Shotgun double set.
Banua hands the ball off up the middle to Mitchell, and he goes absolutely nowhere. And I tell you, at least for now, we want to knock on some wood as Miles Poole comes out of the pile with that tackle. The Renegades are doing a fantastic job on this high-powered run offense.
One guy you can guarantee is ready to go to work, got his blue collar and his lunch pail, is Miles Poole. 2nd and 11. Shotgun spread set.
So we got new running back Nanoa Simmons in the game. Banua passes it to Schmidt. Schmidt on a screen pattern gets the ball up to about the 11-yard line. He's going to be 2 yards short of the first down. Tackle made once again by Thomas Struck. Struck comes up a little bit hobbled, and he's going to go right back down on the ground. So we're going to have a quick injury timeout here.
Schmidt is one of those players that can affect the game with every
shifty
touch. Nice job on the middle screen, but great job by the defense rallying to that and minimizing the damage.
So with the injury, we'll be able to take a quick timeout here on Kerr News Talk, AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and online. And we are back here at Memorial Stadium. Ball's handed off to Mitchell that time, but we've got a penalty flag. So we're going to see what that is. In fact, that was number 26, Nanoa Simmons.
So we'll see what's happening.
All they needed was 2 yards. Looked like they got those 2 yards. We got an offsides penalty against BC, so that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Takes them up to the 6-yard line. 1st and goal, Golden West.
Talk about frustration. How do you come out of the timeout and line up offsides in the neutral zone when you know it's 3rd and short?
Here we go, Golden West. From the Renegade 6, Banua out of shotgun, hands it off to Simmons. Simmons cuts right.
Nice
He's going to
tackle.
run right into a tackler. That is number
Songbae.
23, Songbae Ginyu, out of Frontier High School.
2-3 gang is always ready. Amazing effort by Songbae. He plays like a safety / linebacker, but this kid can play anywhere. Second and goal. Shotgun spread set. 2 receivers to the left for Banu.
Manoa hands the ball off. Oh, no, he tucks it down. He's going to head for that pylon.
He doesn't make it. He doesn't make it.
We're
He's
going to
short.
see with that head linesman what she says. That's going to be a touchdown.
She wasn't on the spot to be able to make that call, but nonetheless, it's going to be a touchdown. As again, keeping containment is the key. We don't do that against a quarterback that can move the pocket. We're going to have some problems.
And again, this is where not having a guy like number 5, Thomas Struck, in the game hurts you, because he's usually that guy that's out there in that dime coverage to be able to spy that mobile quarterback.
Yeah, you know, as defensive ends, you got to avoid being reach blocked.
And I tell you, Mateo Zavala got a pretty good leg himself, too, for these Rustlers as he knocks it in for the extra point. 1:25 remaining in the first quarter. Rustlers open up a 14-3 lead. If you're just joining us, Renegades fumbled the opening kickoff and gave the ball to the Rustlers at the 25, and 2 plays later, they get the ball into the end zone for the first touchdown. Renegades answered with a Carlos Villa field goal from 31 yards out, and on this last drive, the Renegades had to punt it away, gave it to the Rustlers at the 25-yard line of the Renegades, and they only had to go down. They only had to go down 25 yards and scored the second touchdown of the game. So really the Renegades are doing it again where they're giving their opponents a whole lot of leash.
I mean, and here's a situation where you don't need to give
number
a top
4
5 ranked team any additional help, and we do it right away. And now we're a little bit under the gun, but we still have a lot of football left to be played. Got to execute offensively.
Short kick. It's going to be fair caught at the 20. Not too sure why he fair caught that ball. That was Fowler who caught it at the 20. Had about 10 yards to go, but now we're going to have a penalty because he advanced this after he fair caught it. So it's going to be like a procedure penalty. Most likely go back 5 yards to the 15, and that's where the Renegades will start. And so what we didn't see in the first 2 games from the Renegades is just undisciplined play.
Yeah, you know, and those are the things that frustrate coaches because you've been harping on that all week. In that situation right there, you just got a guy that's not used to catching the football on a kickoff. And that's going to cost them 5 yards, and when we're stressing about field position already, those minor things can become major as you haven't been able to move the ball. But, hey, 2 of the things that I've been happy about offensively, Dylan Johnson and Chad Sabal, some of our most consistent receivers. Hopefully we can get them involved.
They combined for 3 touchdowns in the last game, and now you see Sabal, who gets the ball on a quick hook route right there, picks up 7 yards to the 27-yard line.
And right away, that's the point that I'm trying to make. We know we have guys capable to make plays. We have to test the boundaries and get that interior defensive line to loosen up.
So that was Carson Woods, who is back in the game in at quarterback. So they have been alternating series here among quarterbacks as they hand the ball to 25. Ian Jernigan. Jernigan past the 35. He's up towards the 40-yard line. First down, Renegades, after about a 13-yard gain.
Nice strong power play on the right side. Great block by the H-back. But just amazing individual effort on the double spin by Jernigan. First and 10, Renegades.
11-yard pickup to the 38-yard line. First and 10.
You know, but you see what happens when you win first down. You try a little simple hitch, do something outside to stretch the boundaries. Twins left for the Renegades.
Looks like this might be the last play of the quarter here as we've got 12 seconds remaining. Give the ball to Nettles. Nettles is past the 40-yard line, picks up 3 yards to the 41, and it looks like that will do it for the first quarter. So lots of excitement so far, but really also lots of mistakes that the Renegades are going to try to make up for in this second quarter. They're driving. They're at the 41. They're going to have a 2nd and 7 when we come back here in the second quarter on Current News Talk, AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and live streaming at the Bakersfield College Athletics YouTube channel. All right, welcome back to Memorial Stadium right here on Current News Talk, AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and on the YouTube channel for Bakersfield College Athletics. Rob Chavez and Kenny Calvin bringing you live action as Bubba Nettles picks up about an additional 4 yards to the 45-yard line, setting up a 3rd and 3.
Very crucial 3rd and 3 as well, because this is an offense sitting over there salivating at an opportunity to get back out there. Have to do our defense a favor and sustain some drives.
Renegades 1-3 so far today from 3rd down. Fake the handoff, gets the ball out to Alexander, and a great catch out there by the big tight end up to the Rustler 49-yard line. 1st down, Renegades.
Crucial catch by Alexander, but perfectly placed ball by Woods.
Only where he could catch it.
Yeah, only where he can catch it. And it goes back to one of those things we talked about. That was a rhythm throw. He's looking like he's finding his rhythm. 1st and 10. Trips bunt set.
Ball's handed off to Nettles. Nettles heads out left. He's going to get tripped up at about the line of scrimmage, fall forward for a yard. 2nd and 9 from the Rustler 48. Number 23, Mason Driffle, defensive back for the Rustlers out of Kennedy High in Anaheim.
It's one of the teams I played in high school. Gave them an L.
Out of Anacrime.
2nd and 9 for the Renegades. Don't be surprised to see more run here. Oh.
Woods across the middle, and his pass is incomplete. And that looked like that could have been a defensive receiver hit right there.
Yeah, I mean, and that was a nice play call because everybody in the stadium was actually expecting run. At least I was, because you want to try to make sure you get a makeable 3rd down conversion opportunity. But since you didn't, and you go with that play action pass, now we're right back in 3rd and 9 under the gun and behind the sticks.
So 3rd and 9 for the Renegades from the 48. Renegades not in 4-down territory yet, and not anywhere within the range of Carlos Villa. So now we've got a timeout. Looks like Coach Dameron and Coach Thompson were a little bit upset on the sideline there. Weren't able to get the playoff. So that's the 2nd timeout of the half. And it gives us the opportunity once again for the Hall of Famer to talk about the October 9th Bakersfield College Hall of Fame that's going to be presented at Luigi.
Oh, it's going to be an amazing night. You know, you guys got to go on GoGaze.com and get those tickets because it's going to be a sold-out event. Hopefully you can get a table. But let's talk about who's going in. Brandon Banks, he's one of my former players, former Redskin, former CFL Player of the Year. He's going in. Sean Barker, Major League Baseball player.
Former teammate of mine.
Former teammate of you here as a Renegade. Got to be a great feeling for you to see the guys that deserve to go in finally get their nod. Tyrone Crawford doing amazing things in Texas. He's had some golf stuff happening in Texas right now. You know you're doing it big. You're making golf course money in Texas.
Not to mention he also pairs up with One Star, One Family here, the local Cowboys fan group. We'll talk about that here in a little bit as Woods pass it over the middle. Sabal has got a lot of space open.
Oh, he was hit. He lost it.
Lost it just a little bit, and he picked it right back up, but enough for the first down for the Renegades. Great play call right there.
And shout out to Chad Sabal. Last night while I was in Dorsey, he messaged me, hey, I graduated from Dorsey as my Drillers beat Dorsey 37-0. But I said his name, and right away he's paying dividends. You got to give guys that have the athletic ability to make plays early opportunities. It helps your offense flow. 1st and 10.
Up-tempo offense. The Renegades get right back onto the ball. Woods out of the shotgun with Jernigan behind him. Fowler to his right. Gives the ball to Jernigan. Jernigan off left side, and he's going to have a big chunk of yards right there down to the 31-yard line. Picks up 7, 2nd and 3, and Jernigan is doing a really good job of picking up about 5 to 6 yards every carry.
Talk about the cross block by Fowler. That block is the reason why that 7-yard run takes place. He comes across as the H-back and kicks out that defensive end. Great job by Fowler. Twins left.
2nd and 3, Sabal in motion going right to left. Now we've got Woods. Looks over, and his pass is going to sail above Nettles.
Yeah, and the crowd over here is wanting to grounding, but what you have is Nettles sneaking over, and the ball went right over his head. Definitely could have been an easy throwback, which would have been successful had Nettles been able to catch that.
Yeah, a lot of turf out there, nobody out there within about 10 yards. So now you've got a 3rd and 3, another crucial 3rd down. Renegades 3 of 5 so far tonight. And I tell you, one thing, Kenny, this year is a little bit different. And now we've got, now they're going to actually see about throwing a flag. And if this is for intentional grounding, they've got a gripe here. Because that ball sailed right over Nettles' head.
Yeah, and you know, I've been very transparent about my recent trips to therapy to be nice to the officials. But the timing on when the flag comes in, you got to wonder what motivated you to throw it that late.
And typically it's because the barking from the other sideline.
That was you had the ball spotted for the next play. But, you know, great communication by the officials, let's say that, because it probably was a situation where the white hat didn't have the view. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. 3rd and 9.
So they lost, and now you've got Walls who jumps off sides as well too. It's going to back him up another 5 yards. So where you had a 2nd and 3, the Renegades get 2 consecutive 5-yard penalties. Now it's going to be a 3rd and 13.
And how much have I talked about rhythm this year, partner? We're here in week 4, and I've talked about how when certain things happen to affect our rhythm, we see a steamroll process, and that's kind of what's happening right now with this drive. This is not the first time we've seen consecutive penalties back us up on drives based on lack of rhythm.
So ball sitting at the 41-yard line. Renegades put Nettles in motion. The ball gets over to Nettles. Nettles cuts back, gets to about the 40. Now you're going to see the punt unit come out when the Renegades offense was really humming.
Yeah, but, you know, all it takes is one flat tire to ruin a field trip, right? And that's exactly what's happened with us offensively. We have to find a way to minimize the small mistakes to keep the rhythm flowing, or else it's going to be a tough night for a defense that's usually gassed late in fourth quarters because they're out there too long early in the game. 4th down.
New punter out there, Brendan Gratt.
Nice.
He's going to put it just inside the 10-yard line, and couldn't get the opportunity to get down there. Not enough air underneath that. Number 21, Brock Wattenbarger, trying to get to that football before it sailed in the end zone. So the Rustlers are going to have it 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
You know, so as broadcasters, we give the visual of what's happening right now. Visually, this has been a tough outing throughout the first quarter and a 10th. We have to find a way to do something to remind the fans that we appreciate them being here.
Right.
I mean, you got some people that's probably mad they're missing some other big football games if we're not going to get it done. 1st and 10.
Not to mention their corn dog out at the Kern County Fair. Let's get the ball handed off, this time to number 3, Ardwan Morris. You're starting to see that number 3 and number 4 running backs getting the football, kind of wanting to know if that's either by design or they're trying to keep Mitchell and Thomas a little fresh for the second half, being up 14-3.
One thing we've seen from this team, they usually have a few guys that they're dedicated to keeping involved. Pistol doubles formation for the Rustlers. Quarters coverage for the Renegades.
Banua out of the shotgun. Hands the ball off to Morris once again.
I do like how we're tackling inside. We haven't seen a lot of blown assignments and missed tackles. And that's somewhat keeping us in the game if we can get these guys off the field right now. But what you don't want to do is allow these guys to convert here, and now they flip the field and give an opportunity to themselves. 3rd and 5.
Smiley Rogers in on that tackle at a Highland High. Highland lost their 3rd straight to Porterville on Thursday. Banua looks up, gets flushed out of the pocket, but he's going to get sacked. Number 10.
Ball's out.
Looks like it was forced out, but he was down. They called him in the grasp, and that was A.J. Snow. Snow had just checked in the game for Rogers, so 2 straight tackles made by that left side of the defensive line. Shout out to the fools on the defensive side.
Right. I mean, great pressure and containment, right? I told you the C word is going to be something that you hear out of me a whole lot today. See how great the defense can be when you keep the quarterback in the pocket. Quarterbacks get outside the tackle, and then they start making amazing things happen. We keep them inside, we get results.
Nice spiral punt. It's going to be fielded by Shanks.
As a matter of fact, we need to play some Young Jeezy when Alex Snow make a play. I mean, because those are the kind of plays that get you back in the game. We're sitting here saying if these guys get this first down, we're in trouble. It could very easily be a 21-3 game at the half if we give up that first down. We don't, because you got guys like Alex Snow making plays on the edge. Great job defense. Bailing us out again. Bail Bond Leon.
Yes, they are. And the Renegades defense has only given up 55 yards total so far. The Renegades offense, 113 yards, but only 3 points to show for it. Woods stays in the game, gives it to Nettles. Nettles rushes up about 2 yards to the 39-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 8. Now looks like we've got a timeout on the field.
Yeah, Tyler Shelton's helmet came off. You definitely want him on the field every snap.
Yep, checking in the game is going to be Brady Phillips. And again, what we've noticed is that kind of like that defensive line, we've got about 9 or 10 guys that have been rotating in on that offensive line as well, too, making it as fresh as possible for Carson Woods and everybody out there. So 2nd and 8, fakes the handoff.
We got him.
Oh, and a man was open, but now he has to check down, and his pass is going to be incomplete to Morse. And, yes, you called it out. Dylan Johnson was up the seam, and he only had one man to beat. But Woods didn't seem like he had his footing to be able to step that foot down, get a good plant, and throw.
Yeah, the pressure outside by number 44, Kakama Cosma, say that 3 times fast. He was definitely in place and keeping containment himself, because that was a touchdown written all over for Dylan Johnson on the post route.
Cosma out of Honolulu, Hawaii, St. Louis High. 5 receivers out there for Woods on a 3rd and 8 from the Renegade 39, 9:03 to play. And now it looks like this might be a delay of game against the Renegades. And it will be, backs them up 5 yards to the 34. And again, this is when Coach Cal gets a little upset at the manageable distance for 3rd down.
Yeah, I mean, because, I hate to sound repetitive on the air, because you got people that'll say, hey, you said that already. But it's another pre-snap penalty that affects rhythm and puts you behind the sticks. You can't keep having unforced errors.
Woods' pass is going to be incomplete. It was intended for Johnson on an out route that was going to put him right up to about the 40-yard line, well short of the first down needed. So here comes the punting unit once again for the Renegades as another drive stalls.
And that's the frustration. We're not perfect. I'm not asking for our guys to come out here and be perfect. But what we do expect is you to not shoot yourself in the foot. You gotta find a way to not have unforced errors. Delay of games in situations like that when you know you need this third down is an unforced error.
So Gratt kicks it away. Schmidt is back there, and Schmidt's going to let it roll out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. So good job for Gratt. We hadn't seen Gratt since the first game of the season. You know, Aronson has been out kicking him, but once Aronson wasn't able to get that punt out and it was blocked and only went for 13 yards, here comes Gratt, and Gratt's done a pretty good job.
Yep, Gratt is a perfect example of if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. DJ Quick. But he's a guy that had his job taken, right? You know, all jokes aside, standing right there ready, all supporting their guys, but when it's his turn, he comes in and shows up. And again, I'm so proud of the special teams unit because at least they're trying to flip the field and keep us in position to try to get something out of this situation. 1st and 10 for the Rustlers. Shotgun spread set.
8:42 remaining in this first half. Rustlers have it at their own 23. They give the ball to Morris. Morris switching his hands quite a bit on that run, and there's a lot of jostling going around, and some helmet came off. That was Ada Moreno. We got a penalty flag that also came out. I'm wondering if that could possibly be illegal hands to the face.
Yeah, and that angle that the officials have, they definitely saw something that we didn't.
So Moreno's going to have to come out of the game.
Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 3.
So it was on Morris. So Moreno doesn't have to come out because it was a penalty.
Great job by Moreno staying active, and that was just unfortunate for Golden West because
that was a great
that
run.
was a great run.
Yeah, switched in. And again, for those of you young running backs that were out there, I'll tell you what, Morris switched his hands maybe about 2 or 3 times. So this way he made sure it was on that outside hand.
He never gets away with that in my day because
no,
the
that ball's
second guy,
out.
we're punching that out. You got 5 guys around the ball, and you're still trying to tackle him. The second and third guys should be stripping the football out of there.
So Banua steps up into the pocket. His pass is incomplete, intended for Schmidt. Songbae Ginyu was in on the coverage. It was soft coverage.
And that was a nice design play on that dig route. Just thrown a little bit too far of the outstretched arms of Schmidt.
For the Rustlers, back deep in their own territory. Still 8:16 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, a lot of football to be played. Got to get stops, though. 2nd and 16.
Banua steps up into the pocket. This is a quarterback draw by design, and big hit by Songbae Ginyu at the 26-yard line.
Songbae Ginyu is everywhere right now. You can tell Banua didn't like that too much.
You turned into a runner, though.
Well, now, hey.
You hear the big bells.
Another situation. Got to undertake this opportunity as we got the Undertaker theme song. 3rd and 8. Trips open set for the Rustlers. Renegades in the man coverage.
3rd and 7 from the 26. Banua steps up. He's going to get sacked. Another big sack right there for number 10, A.J. Snow. Snow has done a fantastic job on 3rd down.
Wow.
He's that guy.
And
he's
I
that speed guy.
Amazing job by the defensive line, continuing to show up. How many different guys have we seen make impact plays from the defensive line throughout the year already? Gotta love it. And that's generated because you have guys like Miles Poole and other places. You keep playing, have a motor.
Punts off, shanks deep. It's not going to go very far at all.
Wow.
So now the
10-yard punt.
Renegades may actually get very good field positioning right here. It looks like that ball is going to be at the 32-yard line.
Wow, favor for a favor, because we definitely gave them one earlier. We have to execute right here, and usually you're going to see sudden change. We should be taking a shot.
35-yard line, we'll call that, as Coach Matt Alvarez was right on it, as well as your guy Pete right there, and letting them know exactly where it was going to be.
Big bro. All right, Tripp's right. You're usually going to see a combo route here. Would love to see a corner post action between the 2 and 3 receivers.
Statler in the game. They were showing blitz right there. Statler checks out of it.
Empty set for Statler.
Statler still with 10 seconds on the play clock. Looking right. Checks with his receivers. Out of the shotgun. Looks up. His pass is going to be complete to Sabal. Sabal cuts back one more time. Escapes the first tackle, and he's going to get to about the 25-yard line, close to a first down. He's going to have about 8 to the 27-yard line.
So proud of the young kid from Dorsey. He just runs the quick stick route. It's basically like a quick hitch. Makes 3 guys miss afterward. 2nd and short.
No huddle offense. Statler out of the shotgun. Checking over to the sideline. Checks with the 3 receivers to the left. 2 receivers to his right.
This empty set made Statler famous as a Titan. Pressure off the right side.
Rolls left, looks up. He's under pressure. He's able to get it away, but this is going to be in no man's land, but he was outside of the tackles. Ball got past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and you see a conversation being held. They're asking if he was outside of the tackle. Statler has to do a better job taking that dump route. You had a drag route right in your face instead of trying to come and reverse field, because that's very dangerous trying to come back opposite.
So now we got a 3rd and 2.
We dodged the blow right there because that was very close to being another intentional grounding.
If not for being outside of the pocket, that was going to be an intentional grounding. So now the ball is going to be handed off to Jernigan. Jernigan cuts back, but he's going to cut right back into trouble, and that gives no gain on the play. And so now Nettles is going to come in for a 4th and 2. The Renegades now 3 of 7 from 3rd down.
And this is about pride here. You know, you have a situation where you just tried to run the football. Now you're going to have to switch personnel. They bring in the star in number 81.
Jaheim Alexander.
Might try to make it situation where you can play action pass and try to get him out in the flat as well.
Still Statler under center. Fakes the handoff, and you called it. It was going to be right to Alexander, but Alexander was covered. You called that out route right there in the flats to Alexander. But great coverage right there for the Rustlers. That was number 12 out there, Orlando Bustamante, the linebacker that flashed outside.
Sounds like the Rustlers have some great coaches over there on the defensive side of the football, because they saw exactly what I saw. You know, you go that big, heavy set to appear to look like you're running a football, hoping that you can create a matchup. But that pressure off the left side just ate that up. And, again, the Rustlers' defense holds.
The Renegades turn it over on downs. Rustlers have it at their own 27-yard line, 1st and 10, with 5:23 remaining in this first half. Got a motion man, and the ball's handed off to the right side. And I tell you, give it up to this Renegades defense. They have done a fantastic job bottling up this run as number 33, Drew Underwood, comes up with that tackle.
You know, we're going to need more plays like that from Underwood if we're going to get back in this football game. We got a lot of Renegades rolling into the stadium. We want to make sure we do our best to try to put on a show. And right now, it's 2nd and 8. You just want to keep them on this side of the field, partner. Trips open set.
Benua looks over the middle, and his pass is going to be incomplete, intended for Schmidt.
Great coverage.
Number 21, Brock Wattenberger.
Great coverage by Lil Bro. You know, people probably saying, hey, why are you always calling these guys your little bros? First of all, if you're a Renegade, you're my little brother. But his dad was one of my teammates. And the ultimate linebacker as a driller.
And the do-it-yourself Wattenbergers from Oildale. That goes way back.
3rd and 8 for the Renegades. Got to get these guys off the field.
So Banua under
Middle
pressure,
screen
pass,
prepared.
and a great tackle right there. Once again, is that Drew Underwood? It sure is. And he brings down the big man, Will McKissick.
Amazing job being situationally aware. You know what's coming. 4th and long, you're going screen or draw. They run a middle screen. That was well designed, but just well defended.
Carson Moore also in on that tackle for a loss of 1, bringing up 4th and 9. The Renegades are going to get this ball again right around 4 minutes to play in this first half.
And my man Chad Sabal looks like he's deep.
That's Shanks.
Oh, Shanks.
And talk about Shank, another bad kick for the Rustlers, but it's actually going to get past the 50 this time to the 43-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Renegades with 4:03 remaining in this first half. And again, we talked about the Hall of Fame coming up on October 9th. That's also homecoming week as well, too. Remember, the Renegades are going to be off. Excuse me, we do have a game next week, and then we will be off the following week and back on homecoming week.
You know, so homecoming week, we talked about Tyrone Crawford, Barker, and Banks. Now we talk about the great Gloria Friedman. You know, the women of the Renegade legacy now getting their fair share of roses.
Absolutely, as Jernigan rushes it up 9 yards to the Rustler 49-yard line, just under 4 minutes to play. And I tell you, these running backs, talk about getting their shine. These running backs for the Rustlers were really the talk of the state before this game. And now Nettles and Jernigan are saying, hold my cup.
Yeah, and the defense is doing them a good favor by tackling on the opposite side. Our guys have to break some tackles and get loose.
Statler fakes the handoff. He gets his pass across the middle, and that's over to number 42, Brett Jones.
That was a tough catch by Jones.
To number 35, to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, Renegades at 3:20 to play. Renegades still have 1 timeout left.
Nice touch on the pass, but just a courageous catch by the tight end as he knew he was going to get hit. Takes 2 hits, bounces off of him like pinball. 1st and 10, Renegades.
So the Renegades once again are driving and threatening.
Twins left.
You got Jernigan in the backfield with Statler out of the shotgun, fakes the handoff. Statler steps up. He's going to get wrapped up, and he's going to go down for the sack. And
yes,
we've got a penalty.
Because I was just about to say this should be a penalty, partner, because he basically leaps up in the air and comes down on the pile as the runner is already on the ground. This is going to be 1st and 10, Renegades.
So the clock stops with 2:44 remaining. So we got a personal foul penalty, and that's going to be 15 yards from the spot of the foul. So it was spotted at the 39, takes it up to the 24. 1st down, Renegades at the 24-yard line. 1st
down, Renegades. Definitely want to take a quick second to thank a lot of our working staff out here making things happen. Our parking lot attendant, security, Marco. Our student runners that just brought lunch up.
We were going to talk about Marco Cifuentes. Ball given to Jernigan. Jernigan is up past the 20 to the 17-yard line. Pickup of 7, 2nd and 3.
Got a Renegade down, partner.
We do have a Renegade down.
Oh, he's up now.
It's number 60, Oliver Mamea. 2:15 remaining. The Renegades are not necessarily in a rush here. They want to make sure that this is the last possession or last drive of the half. They still have that 1 timeout left. Plus, looks like they're also going to have the 2-minute timeout here as well. They're going to stop this at 2 minutes. So we're also going to take a break here on Kern News Talk AM 1180, 96.1 FN, and live streaming on the YouTube channel of Bakersfield College Athletics. Actually, it's over the head. Oh, yeah. In the end zone. We could have a safety right here, folks. Boom! Wow. Boom! That was so big that we got an echo now. Fantastic hit right there by number 9. All right, and we are back here on the Bakersfield College Athletics YouTube channel, as well as on the air, Current News Talk AM 1180, 96.1 FM. Rob Chavez and Kenny Calvin, 2 minutes to play in this first half. The ball is given to Jernigan. Jernigan gets up to about the 15-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down by maybe about a yard. So bring up 3rd and 1 with 1:50 remaining. Clock is still running. Renegades still have that 1 timeout remaining. They definitely want to get in the end zone here.
Yeah, that trap play has been very successful for us. Unfortunately, we tripped.
Jernigan up the middle. He's got enough for the first down. He's going to get pushed back at about the 12-yard line, so the clock will stop momentarily to move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 Renegades from the 12-yard line. 1:30 exactly on the clock. Renegades are threatening.
This Rustlers team is very big inside. So right now they're going to be expecting you to come out and try to run and pound this clock down. Would be a great opportunity to try to catch them off guard and with the matchups with the tight ends off of some play action.
So now you got Nettles in the game. They fake the handoff to Nettles. Now you've got Statler is rolling out. He continues to roll out. Now he's still on his feet. He gets the ball in the end zone. Touchdown, Renegades. Dylan Johnson. Wow.
Hey, we got our crystal balls out, partner. You load that box up. You make it appear that you're about to run this football because they think you want to run this clock out. They bring those backers down. Amazing effort by Statler to keep the play going and extend the play. But how about the dart? That was an NFL throw with 2 ballerina toes. Touchdown.
A tightrope by both Statler and Johnson on that play as Villa comes out to attempt the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. Carlos Villa remains perfect on the season so far. With 1:08 remaining in this first half, the Renegades pull within 4 points, 14-10 Rustlers. And, you know, Kenny just summed up what that last play was, but what it really is that this defense has continued to keep the Renegades in this football game. They've only given up 60 total yards to this Rustler offense, and it's allowed the Renegades to continue to stay in this game.
Minimize turnovers, give your defense an opportunity to rest. But that was just a quality throw right there by Malachi. How about his vision to keep his eyes downfield while being chased for his life?
By 2 guys.
By 2 guys. And that was just a dart right there. And it's beautiful for his confidence as well.
Yeah, you talked about it. Tom Myers, our PA guy here, Titan Tom on Fridays, Touchdown Tom on Saturdays.
Tom.
He talked about it. He's been watching this kid Statler for the last 6 years do this stuff.
Shoot, all 3 of us combined. I don't know if there's 3 guys who've seen him play more in a booth than us.
Kolsar kicks it off in the great coverage.
Job.
Right there, number 30, Elijah Lucero, who is the special teams maven for the Renegades.
Lucero has been lights out on the kickoff coverage team. We talked about how important kickoff cover, punt cover is.
Gunners.
Every week. And those are the kind of plays that can flip the field. And right now with 1:03 to play, you got to wonder how aggressive Golden West can be right now because you don't want to turn the ball over on this end and give us another opportunity.
Oh, there was an offsides. It brings it up 5 yards to the 18-yard line. So still good coverage by Lucero. Shout out to Shafter, Coach Perucci, I know watching either online or he's watching maybe even here in the stadium watching his guy Lucero do a really good job. Actually, they're gonna re-kick this with 1:03.
Yeah, you definitely take the re-kick because that was amazing coverage, and it would have still been inside the 20-yard line.
So now Lucero, I actually was looking for Lucero, and he puts his hands out just like this, like, okay, I guess I got to do this again.
All right, so now what you want to do, because this is a special guy back here, you have to be conscious that with that 5-yard penalty, you're going to have more air under the football. You have to stay in your lanes and be lane disciplined.
Yep, you got Schmidt, but also you have the 2 running backs as well, too, in Mitchell and Thomas. Not to mention you also have Morris, number 3, as well, standing at about the 20-yard line. So they got their athletes back there. They've got their guys that can run it. Kolsar wearing number 1, because like Coach Thompson said, was the number one prospect. And a big kick right
here
that. By Kolsar. Kolsar gets it back to the 1-yard line, taken by Schmidt. Schmidt's headed up to the left side. He's got some space. He's finally going to get bottled up at about the 31-yard line. He finally goes down, taken down by Jaheim Alexander, one of the tight ends.
Ooh, but you can see how dangerous Schmidt is right there. He was 1 lane away from getting loose. Great job by the kickoff unit, squeezing into the sideline. Be 1st and 10. But again, 55 seconds on this side of the field. They're going to be aggressive right now. Opportunity to get a hand on something.
And you can hear this wind here. It is moving down on the field as well, too. It's blowing from the northwest down into this bowl here as Banua looks over and his pass is complete. That's the number 22. He's going to get loose and he's going to get out of bounds, brought out of bounds by Thomas Struck. So that pass was caught by Aaron Mitchell. Gets out at the 40-yard line.
Gotta love this line for the wrestlers getting out and blocking on these screens. It's the last thing you want to see as a defensive back is that tackle coming out to get you on that quick screen.
2nd and 2 from the Rustler 40. Banua drops back. He looks up. He's flushed. Once again, he's going to get brought down for a sack. Fantastic job, and quickly a timeout being called by the Rustlers. Number 88, Carson Moore, with his first full sack of the game. He had a half sack a little earlier, shared with Drew Underwood.
Gotta love the effort on the defensive line. Brings up a 3rd and 8.
And actually, that's going to be a timeout for the Renegades. The Renegades are actually trying to conserve some clock, maybe to get this ball back.
3rd and 6, actually, not 3rd and 8. 3rd and 6. So, but again, 3rd down situation, playing solid defense. You're putting the ball in their court. How aggressive do you want to be? Because if you take a shot and we get a hand on something, or we get a guy like Miles Poole in the backfield, tackling strip, scoop and score, it's a party over here.
And you don't want that before going into the locker room. Golden West has pretty much had momentum throughout the majority of this first half. The Renegades, with that touchdown, finally stole a little bit of that momentum. So the Renegades are going to come pretty strong here, I'd imagine. Coach Thompson dialing up something to try to get this quarterback under pressure once again like he has been.
Secondary's playing a little loose.
He's talking to number 0, Will McKissick, the big tight end who scored a touchdown early in the game. And now Banua looks up, and he looks at McKissick, and McKissick's pass is going to be incomplete, but Thomas Struck was out there on coverage, and you heard the displeasure from Kenny Calvin. Thought it was some good coverage right there, but it looks like the back judge thought he was guilty of pass interference.
Well, I'm going to tell you why it wasn't good coverage. It was good coverage, but he panicked. I always talk about defensive backs panicking when you're in position to make the play. He grabbed him, he tugged him, and that's what was called. And it's unfortunate because it's a 3rd down play. That's a huge mistake.
So instead of actually putting his hands on him and playing the ball, he gets himself into trouble as you get.
Yeah, because you panic. If you play the ball, you actually can get an interception. Shotgun double set and expect them to try to take a shot right now. 43 seconds left to play.
Ball on the Renegade 49-yard line. Banua out of the shotgun. Looks to his left. Now he looks up the middle, flush out of the pocket. Good fake right there. He's still on his feet, and he's up to the 35-yard line. First down for the Rustlers, and the clock will stop momentarily to move the sticks with 35 seconds remaining. They're trying to get some off on the field. The Renegades are going to actually call the Renegades actually didn't call their last timeout. The Rustlers did on that 3rd down. So now the Renegades were able to call their final timeout, so they didn't get another penalty, And so we're in scramble mode right now, Kenny, and where the Renegades had a third down and an opportunity to get the football back with maybe about 35, 40 seconds left. The Rustlers now have 30 seconds and 35 yards to go to try to put some more points on the board.
Yeah, I like the timeout because what are you saving it for? You better get organized and try to figure out how to keep this team from getting 5 more yards, because 5 more yards turns into points. We haven't seen them kick a long field goal, but I'm pretty sure they got a few guys that grew up around the Huntington Beach area that love kicking stuff. 30 seconds left to play in the half. And again, partner, sometimes it takes the defense to make the play. I need a pick. I need a sack, fumble, something, touch something.
Usually when Kenny Calvin calls for a turnover, one's coming up. So we're going to see right here, 1st and 10 for the Rustlers at the Renegade 34-yard line. Banua out of the shotgun, looks to his right, gets it out to his running back, Morris, who's going to get brought down for a loss of 1. Great tackle right there by Drew Underwood once again, and there's going to be a timeout for the Rustlers. So the Rustlers, with 22 seconds remaining, will still have 1 timeout remaining, and the ball at the 35-yard line. Maybe call it the 36. That was a loss of 2.
Yeah, I was just about to say he lost some right there. You want to keep him in front of you. Great job by the linebackers flying sideline to sideline.
And one thing I can see right now is that this Rustler offensive line is gassed. They are tired. They've got their hands down low. They're usually a quick strike offense, and these guys aren't on the field too long. They've sustained this long drive, and they've been up-tempo, and those big guys down on the line don't really like that.
Right, and though this weather feels good to us, it's still out to those ocean boys, the little beach boys.
Oh, HB. You know, sometimes those Jesse's stomping grounds down there. Get the longboard out.
I had multiple
Cruise down
concerts,
Surf City.
multiple concerts at the Redondo Beach Performing Arts Center right down the street from their campus.
Oh, you're thinking of El Camino. This is Huntington Beach.
Right.
This is HB, Orange County.
Trips open set.
So here we go. Looks like they're trying to get some people clear maybe. Oh, the clock is having to reset. Here we go.
All right, 24 seconds remaining in the half, 2nd and 11.
Banua out of shotgun. He looks up, he steps up, and he's going to get sacked. And that is big number 99, Jordan Berry.
Jordan is living it up, too, down there right now. Amazing pressure inside. That got to be 5 sacks by the defensive line.
So the Rustlers are going to call their final timeout with the ball at the 41-yard line. And I don't know if you noticed it. He got down right on the ground. And he was celebrating the big man dance right there.
Hey, big man got some good knees to be able to get down like that. I definitely couldn't do that move right there.
What it is to be 20 years old again, Kenny.
Right,
as I sit here in my sling.
Right. But, hey, all jokes aside, how about the pressure from the defensive line?
That's
Keeps
right.
us in a situation where now they're out of field goal range. You're keeping yourselves in the game by playing discipline, not allowing the roof to be blown off the top, minimizing plays over 25 yards. So far, it's keeping us in this football game. 3rd and long for the Rustlers. And we still have a chance to get me a pick to the house right now.
So here we go. 3rd and 17 from the 41. Both teams are out of timeouts. 18 seconds remaining.
Screen or draw, Rob.
So here we go. Banua. He's going to get flushed out. Could be a holding right there, and his pass is going to be incomplete up the sideline. And the Renegades are going to force a punt with 12 seconds remaining in this half, unless
I don't think
the
Rustlers see a punt
Rustlers,
here.
The Rustlers are going to maybe try a shot at the end zone.
Yeah, you definitely want to try to take a shot in the end zone. The gamble here for Golden West is if you try to run around and do anything stupid and go backwards,
just kneel it.
Yeah, it ends up being a possession and a 1-second opportunity for the Renegades. So let's see what they come out with. Shotgun spread set.
So here we go. Banua out of the shotgun. He's going to look up. He's going to get flushed once again.
Yes.
He's going to go down, and that's going to be it. And I'll tell you what, you had Coach Thompson and Coach Duncan over there celebrating that big sack right there. The Rustlers are going to turn it over with 7 seconds remaining in this half. The Renegades are going to have one shot to maybe get it towards the sideline, maybe get Carlos Villa out there, or get it into the end zone at the 47-yard line. It kind of depends on whatever Coach Thompson and Coach Dameron decide. But actually, I think they're just going to kneel on it and try to get into the locker room.
Absolute worst thing for Benua to do was run backwards. Like I said, you give us an opportunity, but we're not going to take it. We'll take that defensive stop into the locker room. I like it.
So, and on top of that, the Rustlers know that they're going to get the football to open up the second half. So it may be worth a gamble. But nonetheless, the Renegades, who have dominated the line of scrimmage and the time of possession, are still down 4 points to the number 4 ranked team in the state of California. But they are the 15th ranked team in the state of California themselves, looking to protect their home turf right here on Current News Talk, AM 1180, 96.1 FM, live streaming on the Bakersfield College Athletics YouTube channel. We will be right back in a few minutes with halftime coverage right here at Memorial Stadium. Game here, guys. This is Renegades football against Allen Hancock.
Oh, yes.
Given off, and a great tackle by Miles Poole, number 46, as he brings down number 24, Kyle Williams.
Brought down by number 43.
Miles Poole is playing out of his mind, penetration by the whole defensive line, but he's just creeping from the backside, and that guy didn't have anywhere to go.
Ball game here, guys. This is Renegades football against Allen Hancock.
Oh, yes.
Given off, and a
Oh,
great
yes.
tackle by Miles
yes.
Poole, number 46, as he brings down number 24, Kyle Williams.
Brought down by number 43.
Miles Poole is playing out of his mind, penetration by the whole defensive line, but he's just creeping from the backside, and that guy didn't have anywhere to go.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium for live coverage of Bakersfield College Renegades football. Rob Chavez alongside the Bakersfield College Hall of Famer Kenny Calvin, where the Renegades go into the locker room down 14-10 to the visiting Golden West Rustlers. And Kenny, really the story of this first half was that the Renegades really dominated the line of scrimmage. They dominated the time of possession, but they find themselves down by 4, and that was because of early penalties and turnovers in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a situation where we played like we were trapped in traffic, right? You have a team in the Rustlers that comes in late, but that can also affect the home team as well. You think that you're getting off to a regular start, and now things change. The simplest things affect timing and mentality sometimes in football games. But no excuses. Got to protect the football because it's been something that we talked about all week as personnel. We didn't do that. It put us behind the gun. Now, after that happens, you gain composure, you regain composure, and you just get stops. You find ways to get stops, and those stops lead to rhythm on offense. You finally get an amazing throw by Malachi Stadler, and let's talk about that because – we haven't been horribly tough on our quarterbacks because we love all our guys, right? But Stadler has had some inconsistency as he's sharing time. Great opportunity for him to build that confidence by getting that throw on that scramble right in that touchdown pass.
Yeah, being chased down by 2 guys, ended up high-stepping outside of what would have been shoestring sacks. So it's pretty amazing for the Frontier Titan to be able to get out, tiptoe at around the 23, 24-yard line and zip a pass into the end zone to Dylan Johnson, who has become his favorite target so far this year.
You know, in the early days of training camp, we had no idea which receiver would be the guy because we lost some huge guys in Jalen Richmond and some of the other people. Jacoby Pointer, the most valuable pointer, which we used to call him. You lose guys like that offensively. Sometimes it takes time for guys to make a name for themselves. But Dylan Johnson, this kid is averaging over 30 yards a catch right now, upwards of 4 touchdowns. Seeing him continue to step his game up, the Bakersfield Christian Eagle, I know my little bro Pete Maglieri Jr. is extremely excited for his former teammate.
That's right. Chad Sabal also had 3 catches for 25 yards. Jaheim Alexander with a big 34-yard catch. Overall, he's got 2 catches for 40 yards. And then you've got, again, Carson Woods and Malachi Statler splitting the roles, but this time Carson Woods leading in total yards, 60, Statler having the 34 yards on 3 of 5 passing, but that one big touchdown catch by Dylan Johnson. But the thing that we're going to talk about is the performance of this defense. Again, coming into this game, this is the second time that the Renegades have seen a high-powered offense and a top 5 team in the state. Ventura last week, number 7 in the state. They moved up to number 5 after their win last week against Bakersfield College. This week, you get a hot Golden West team that comes in from Huntington Beach, ranked number 4, and just put a beat down on Allen Hancock, who we also handled as well, too, 33-7 earlier in the year. But the Renegades have held this Golden West offense, which is coming in averaging 440 yards per game, to 67 total yards. And even better, that rush defense, 2 yards per carry, when the Rustlers had been averaging 6 and almost 7 yards per carry. The two backs in Thomas and Mitchell were averaging 9 yards a carry coming in.
And that's why it's so important not to give teams like that extra opportunities, because they don't need the help. We know our defense can compete with anybody if we don't give teams extra opportunities, and we're showing that statistically. We kind of showed it statistically last week, but, we had a couple of huge plays that yielded some huge yards, but it wasn't a whole bunch of them. This game right here is a scenario where you see how good we can be as a team when everyone does their job. I remember coaches telling me that, and I didn't understand it in moments, because you want to make every play, right? You win man, but you being undisciplined and you stay zoned up and let your guy go because you're trying to pick a play off. Sometimes it's just simple as do your job, man. Stay in front of your guy. Stay within the context of the defense and the schemes we're calling, and we can be successful.
Yeah, big difference between this week and last week, and the reason why the Renegades are only down by 4 is, again, the penalties and the turnovers. Haven't committed as many. We only had that one turnover, which led to a quick and easy touchdown to Will McKissick that began the scoring off 7-0, and then we give them another short field after a partially blocked punt. They get the ball at the 25-yard line. 3 plays later, you get Noah Banua that runs it in from 12 yards out, or from 5 yards out.
All right.
So when you think about it, you sit back as a Renegade fan and you think, okay, as long as we limit putting them in good field positioning, limit the turnovers, limit the penalties, we got them right where we want them.
Absolutely. And another thing about that, once you do that, it gives you an opportunity to start getting the ball to some of your premier guys like Chad Sabol and Alexander. Like, seeing those guys, they are our possession receivers that have established themselves right now in the offense. Johnson has turned into our big play guy and the guy that we're looking for down the field. But when we need third downs, it seems like we're going to those stick routes and quick screens to guys like Sabal, and he's paying dividends. And it makes me feel great because, like we said this year, we've been more interactive with this team than we've been throughout your 4 years. And from mine, for sure, because I don't really I didn't have a chance to spend a lot of time on campus with my old role as administrator. But now that I've switched roles, I'm having an opportunity to get up here to campus more often, and we're building connections with the players that had an amazing promo video this week. Shout out to all the people who
Raphael
went into putting that promo video
did
together.
A fantastic job.
Because immediately I started following all the guys. They started following me back. And this week, Chad Sabal hit me yesterday while I'm at his old stadium. And he's like, wow, Coach, that's amazing, man. Hope y'all don't blow us out too bad. I said, yeah, it's too late, man. We already blew y'all out, but thanks for reaching out.
Yeah,
that connection and camaraderie, it gives me goosebumps because we're connecting the generations from old to new.
Absolutely.
And it's paying dividends today.
In the 70th anniversary of Memorial Stadium, still making connections, and you'll hear Kenny Calvin always bring the history back. But before we take a quick break, we do want to highlight the fact that we've got a new defensive player. It seems like every single week that comes up and steps up, and today it has been A.J. Snow, number 10. And it seems like he's only been getting in there on third down plays, but he's got 3 sacks today, 3 solo tackles, 3 tackles for a loss. Right there, this guy is grading out number 1 so far on the defensive side, also helped by Underwood and Miles Poole as well too, creating a lot of havoc in there as well. So we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to come back and highlight some of the other sports right here at the Bakersfield College campus right here on Current News Talk, AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and live streaming on the Bakersfield College Athletics YouTube channel. Game here, guys. This is Renegades football against Allen Hancock.
Oh, yes.
Given off, and a great tackle by Miles Poole, number 46, as he brings down number 24, Kyle Williams.
Brought down by number 43.
Miles Poole is playing out of his mind, penetration by the whole defensive line, but he's just creeping from the backside, and that guy didn't have anywhere to go.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium for more halftime coverage right here on Current News Talk, AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and live streaming on the Bakersfield College Athletics YouTube channel. Rob Chavez and Kenny Calvin want to talk a little bit about Renegades Athletics. We talked about how great Miles Poole has been. He was the male athlete of the week right here for Bakersfield College. But let's talk about Mia Townsend. Women's golf, sophomore Mia Townsend led BC women's golf to its best finish of the season, placing second overall as a team. Townsend carded the Renegades' low round of 83, improving by an impressive 17 strokes from the previous week. After redshirting the freshman year, she is quickly becoming a key contributor and making a strong run to help guide her team this season. Kind of helps, too, that, Papa Bear is leading the baseball team as well, too, Coach Towney. So that's what was happening with women's golf. Women's soccer grabbed their first win last week. Again, we talked about that over Santa Barbara City College. This is the first time they had ever done that in the history of the program. They actually did lose right after that to Santiago Canyon, but came back and avenged the football loss and beat Ventura yesterday 2-1. And then, of course, we've got to talk about women's water polo. They finally got the pool underway. They are underway themselves. They lost their first two matches. We talked about that to Fresno and Rio Hondo. They had a tie against Crafton Hills, but then they lost to LA Valley. So they are coming up, and they're going to be at Santa Monica this week as well as Ventura the following week. They will not come back home until homecoming week, the day before the Hall of Fame, Wednesday, October 8th. Make sure you come out and support women's water polo right here at Bakersfield College. So we are coming up on the kickoff right here at Memorial Stadium. The Renegades are going to be kicking to the Rustlers. Again, you got Schmidt back deep to receive for the Rustlers. And Schmidt is going to take it. Looks like he's going to be at the 2-yard line. Takes it up left sideline, cuts it back. He's going to run right into number 19, Ben Spears. Gets about 25 yards up to the 27-yard line on that return. 1st and 10. So again, Kenny, you talked about the keys to the game. Have the keys changed at all a little bit heading into the second half?
No, because you have to protect the football and minimize big plays. It's definitely something that I say so repetitively that it can become boring, but it's simple keys to establishing dominance. One of them is keeping your rhythm, not turning the football over, and minimizing offenses to plays under 25 yards and hits like that.
Drew Underwood, number 33, with a big hit. And number 2, Kendrick Thomas, came off the turf a little bit woozy. 5-yard gain up to the 32, 2nd and 5. They give it again to Thomas. Thomas is going to string it out.
Huge
and
tackle.
Another big tackle right there. Song Beginyu, after 2 yards, was able to take down Thomas.
Song is representing the 2-3 gang very effectively. He's been making some great plays from that safety position. 3rd and 4, and a chance for the Renegades to get off the field. Golden West trying to go tempo and catch us off guard. Great job by the defense being prepared. Trips open set.
3rd and 3 from the 34-yard line. Banua with Thomas behind him. Trips to the right.
Oh, high snap.
Little high snap, and the ball's out. And a great play. Number 21, Brock Wattenbarger, because of that bobble on the snap, was able to close in on Schmidt and knock the ball out. Schmidt he's looking over at his coach, and he's like, I want to go for it. But they're going to bring the punting unit out. Good job by this defense to be able to force a quick 3 and out from the Rustlers. And back deep to receive is number 0, Dejon Shanks, who was back after missing last week's game with an injury.
Hey, 3 and out. That's how you do it as well, partner.
So decent punt. Shanks gives it a look, but he's going to let it go. It's going to come down and rest at about the 36. And we did want to talk a little bit about injuries as we get into this game.
Late flag.
And it looks like there's going to be some extracurricular activities. Number 43 for the Renegades, James Moon, and number 64 for the Rustlers. We're kind of talking a little bit. That was Lihanu Atuatasi, sorry. But yes, we have some Renegades that are out. Unfortunately, we wanted to announce that unfortunately Chase Furtado's season is done. Tore labrum,
young man.
Tore labrum out in Ventura, but he's going to have an opportunity to come back. So personal foul against the Rustlers. So that's going to bring it up 15 yards from where the spot was. So the Renegades are going to get some favorable starting position here to start this second half off. Ball's going to be at the Rustler 49-yard line. But, yeah, Chase Furtado tore labrum down in Ventura. We thought it might have been a concussion, but it was a little bit something more long-term. So we're hoping to see Chase Furtado come back next year, as they're going to redshirt him this year. We got Woods drops back, and his pass picked up off the ground and a great move by Nettles.
Oh!
And Nettles is able to take that hit and stay up on his feet. His helmet was knocked off by number 5, Drew Faulkner. And he looked at Faulkner like, you got something else for me?
Wow. Talk about toughness. Nettles takes a huge shot. His helmet goes 6 yards backwards, and he keeps moving forward, man. This kid's one of the toughest running backs we've ever had.
Out of Alabama.
Wow. Trips open set for the Renegades, 2nd and 3.
Pickup of about 7 on that play. Ball handed off to Jernigan. Jernigan cuts up, but he's going to run right into some problems there, and that's number 3, Brandon Solo.
Yeah, and you know it's a tough situation when your tight end standing there and 3 people have you wrapped up. He blew that block. But it was just a great call by that defense of the Rustlers, shifting and slanting to the right. 3rd and 5.
Loss of a couple of yards. And the Renegades are going to have it with a manageable 3rd down at least.
Twins right. You have Sabol in the slot.
Fake the handoff to Jernigan.
Got him.
Give it to Jernigan. He's wide open at the 30, 25. One man to beat. Cuts back 20, 15. He's going to finally get knocked out of bounds at the 10-yard line. 1st down, Renegades. But we do have a penalty back around the area of holding, and everybody's hands are on their head over on the Renegades sideline. This is going to be a tough penalty if it is against the Renegades.
Oh, my goodness. And the frustration with that holding call is the play happened so fast, you got to wonder who can hold that quick.
That quickly.
There was a fake to the power, and the power back swung out on the wheel route, and the ball was out within 2 seconds. So you got to wonder where that holding call came from. Nullifies a 60-yard pass play.
Wow. So now backs the ball back up into Renegades territory once again at the 46-yard line.
Huge penalty.
3rd and 15 for the Renegades. They're going to have a counterplay to Nettles. Nettles is going to lose about 2 yards on the play back to the 43-yard line, and here comes the punt unit.
Oh, talk about unfortunate events.
That is
holding
a big switch
penalty
right
just flipped the field as well, because we were down to the 12-yard line, maybe inside the 10, and now we're all the way back punting from the 44-yard line, hoping to get a good one to one of the most dangerous people in the state in Schmidt.
So these were penalties that we were talking about that the Renegades were hoping to avoid, because they look like they're 10 yards in the stat sheet as Gratz
Nice punt.
gets a favorable bounce, and it's going to be at about the 17-yard line. But again, it's one of those situations where those penalty yards are going to look like 10 in the stat sheet, but like you said, in reality, it's more like a 60-yard penalty because of where the ball ended up.
Right, in the timing of the penalty, because it's a scenario where we're potentially going in for a takeover touchdown. One penalty flips the whole contest. 1st and 10 for the Rustlers.
11:28 remaining in the third quarter. Renegades down 14-10. Rustlers have it at their own 18-yard line.
Trips open set. Get a hand on something, defense.
Banua hands it off to Thomas. Thomas is going to run right into trouble once again, and this defensive line has been doing a lights-out job. That time it was Mario Rivas and Drew Underwood, along with, looks like number 96, Smiley Grayson Rogers from Highland High School.
Can't say enough about this defensive front seven. Everybody's flying around. Record-breaking performance right now. And if we can get another 3 and out here, this is a statement-making 3 and out.
Got your man Xander Polito, who checks in the game at that left end for the Renegades. Banua hands the ball off to Thomas. Thomas is going to get hit once again by Drew Underwood.
Drew
at the 20-yard line, only a pickup of 2 yards.
Boy, I'll tell you what, our Carpet Outlet Plus red carpet post-game show is looking like.
Is he trying to take that away
He
from
working
your
on
guy,
a T-shirt.
AJ Snow?
He working on a T-shirt, too.
So now you get Polito out. Here comes AJ Snow in at left end. Banua to his right. He's going to get pressured, and that is going to be incomplete. And another great defensive stance by Bakersfield College. And I tell you, when you break down these defensive stats, hopefully people are going to get to see what kind of a unit Coach Thompson has constructed here on this defensive side of the ball.
Right, because if you just hear the score, you're probably like, dang, Renegades getting dominated. No, this defense is playing fantastic.
Only giving up 2 touchdowns on short fields as the Rustler punt is away. A good punt, spiraling. Shanks is finally going to have it at the 35. He's got some room. He's at the 50. He's at the 45. He's got a man to break. 35, 30. He's going to get forced back inside at the 25-yard line. Finally going to go down. Great return by number 0, Dejon Shanks.
Amazing effort by Shanks. Huge play. He did that exact same thing in the scrimmage as well. Had a huge punt return, and we've just been waiting for this kid to get loose.
And this was the guy that offensive coordinator Seth Dameron was talking about. The Renegades were happy to see because he said this guy likes catching punts.
You got to love guys that have the heart to catch a booming punt like that. But sometimes you outkick your coverage, and that's exactly what happened. First and 10.
That's what I did with my wife. Shout out to my wife. Hopefully she's listening on the I-5 headed south from San Jose as the ball is given to Ian Jernigan. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Actually, that was number 35 for the Renegades, Jason Grant. Finally starting to see the number 3 and number 5 running back here as well, too. I see Britton Brown on the sideline as well.
So proud of Grant getting the opportunity. This is his first time getting some live game action in the backfield.
Against the number 4 team in the state.
He's very capable.
Oh! It was a bad call, and they're just going to have to fall on the football.
We don't get on
it.
Oh, my goodness.
Rustlers are going to have it, and the Rustlers are going to take it in for a defensive touchdown, and that was just a mistake right there. We talk about it a lot, how we've got a 2-quarterback offense, and sometimes there's something that's lost in translation with the center, and it looked like that timing snap was off. Woods was looking towards his receiver when that was snapped. It went right past him and Grant. Woods tried to fall on it, but it squirted out, and it was picked up by number 1, Cruz Wheeler, and he ran it in for the touchdown.
No excuses. Another unforced error by the offense leading to points by a team that you were looking to go up on. Come on. Unforced errors costing us a huge deficit, down 11 points. Unforced errors.
Wow. So the Renegades go down 21.
Takes away all the air out of the balloon as you see those things happen, and these are situations that you can handle and manage, and you basically give the ball away again.
21-10, and the Renegades, you know, we're pushing, we're driving, and again, this is also frustrating to the defensive side of the football, who have been doing a fantastic job of really stifling this high-powered offense from Golden West and giving the Renegades offense an opportunity to get out there and sustain a drive, put some points on the board, and get a lead. But
the Golden West Rustlers don't have 100 yards of total offense, yet they have 21 points. It's unacceptable.
76 yards to be exact, partner.
Totally unacceptable.
So now Dylan Johnson and Bubba Nettles back deep to receive this kickoff. And it's going to be squibbed right up the middle. And somebody's got to pick it up. Nettles finally picks it up at the 16. Nettles is going to get it past the 25-yard line, finally get brought down at about the 28. So the Renegades are going to try to play some mistake-free football here, and we're going to check to see, and it looks like Malachi Statler is going to check into the game at quarterback. So it goes back to trying to build some momentum, and hopefully we're going to see some momentum behind Statler.
Just so disheartening putting yourself under the gun. Yes, there's a lot of football to be played, but you had the golden opportunity on your own end going in, and you blow it. Now you're right back under the gun. Twins left for the Renegades.
Ben Spears in motion. They give the ball to Grant. Grant off left tackle was able to pick up 4 yards. Brought down on the play by number 3, Brandon Solo.
Oh, you know, definitely tough scenarios when you see those things happen. But again, we are a young football team with new personnel trying to figure their ways out. But it's just, you just have to find ways to protect the football. And right now we got a 2nd and 5. Got to execute and keep these chains moving.
Ball given again to Grant. Grant rushes up this time to the right to the 34-yard line. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 4.
The offense has looked very well in some moments, but that's the kind of the point that I'm making is we haven't done it consistently because changing personnel is hard to keep rhythm.
It's one of those things where the crowd is out there and they're just something big. We got 3rd and 4 for the Renegades. Ball at the 34. Malachi Statler looks up, and his pass is going to be incomplete. It was intended for Dylan Johnson went off his hands as he was sliding to try to catch that. It's going to bring out the punting unit for the Renegades. Once again, the Renegades with a 3 and out. And again, this just kind of reminds me of like when you're watching a boxing match go back and forth and nobody's really doing anything. And the crowd is really just trying to get somebody to throw a punch, do something.
Know what this reminds me of? A boxing match, and your favorite boxer hits the other boxer below the belt, and they take a point.
Right.
That's what the kind of fight it feels like I'm watching. Wow.
So Gratt gets the ball away. Fair caught by Schmidt at the 39-yard line. Rustlers will have it with 7:37 remaining in the third quarter. So, again, we covered quite a bit of stuff here so far. Want to once again thank all of the educators and the students for coming out tonight. At halftime, you've seen the East Bakersfield High mascot, the EB, go up against the Lion, Levi the Lion from Miramonte. Levi almost tripped up towards the end and allowed the EB to catch him on the tire roll, but Levi was able to finish it out and win the Battle of the Mascots for the Les Schwab tire roll. Now you got Banua. His pass is going to be incomplete. It was intended for Schmidt. Songbei Ginyu was in the air.
Yeah, way to be prepared because they were trying to sit something short and hit something deep, give you some eye candy underneath and go over the top. 2nd and 10.
And you talked about it, Kenny. Renegades only allowing 2.1 net yards per play so far tonight. 76 yards for the Rustlers. He's got a man in motion. That's Alisea. Banua out of shotgun. Hands the ball off. Left side. It's going to go for a short gain. Drew Underwood once again on that tackle.
Well, you know, one of my theories, partners, is hey, if the offense don't want to do it, I'll do it for you. Like, as a defense, you have to create and generate points. Tip balls, picks, sacks, fumbles, whatever you got to do. But right now, you can't keep depending on an offense that really hasn't proved that they have the consistency tonight to get it done. You have to create the offensive or the defensive scoring opportunities to get back in the game. 3rd and 8.
Rustlers so far 3 of 10 tonight from 3rd down, and that's going to be 3 of 11 as the pass sails incomplete. And we've seen a lot of punts so far in this game. I think probably more punts than we've seen in the last 2 games combined.
3 and 11 on 3rd down conversions, and you're up 21-10. It's only one way that happens. And we know that happened already. But now the defense is continuing to put themselves back against the wall and get something out of it. We have to do something as an offense to support the process.
So punts away, Shanks back, and he catches it. Fair caught at the 15-yard line. The Renegades are going to have it again. We did also bring up, once again, the Hall of Fame on October 9th. It's going to be at the Luigi's Warehouse. We're inducting a lot of folks, some guys that I know pretty well, guy that I played for at East Bakersfield High, and Rick Van Horn. He also coached over at Liberty High School, coached the Bakersfield Blitz, was a
Player of the Year,
2-sport athlete here at Bakersfield College, played baseball as well. And he's also a driller. I guess we can talk about that. And Sean Barker, the Stockdale Mustang, who left Bakersfield College, went to LSU, and then later on, the Colorado Rockies. As Statler looks up, and he's got a man open. It's Dylan Johnson. His pass is almost caught. It came out as he made contact with the ground. And I tell you, Statler was very close also to having an illegal forward pass. His foot just stayed behind that 15-yard line of scrimmage. And it was a great pass right there, but Dylan Johnson just could not quite get to that ball.
That ball was 55 yards in the air.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, great vision by Statler to see that because he's coming from the opposite side of the field. Almost had the speed to get there. Nonetheless, 2nd and 10.
Second down. Ball's given up the middle. Looks like that was Nettles. Nettles going to pick up 3 yards, and it'll make it 3rd and 7. And again, just waiting for the Renegades to do something. They tried something with Dylan Johnson, wasn't quite there. Now they're going to get Sabal and Spears in the football game, and now we've got an injury timeout. So that'll give us an opportunity to take a quick timeout here on Current News Talk, AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and live streaming on the Bakersfield College Athletics YouTube channel. Protect those long snappers at all costs, Kenny.
I'm telling you, man, shout out to my long snappers. Long snappers need love, too.
That's right. So here we go. Statler now in the game. Gets it to Watkins. Watkins is going to be in the end zone for the touchdown.
Boo! Power play on the left-hand side. How about the left side of that offensive line? And Watkins, the Georgia boy, gets his first pay dirt for the Renegades.
7:06, boys. Making noise, as Kenny Calvin has already brought to us, and now we're going to get Carlos Villa out there. And we are back after the injury timeout. Brandon Saleu was able to get carried off, and his pass, Malachi Statler's pass, is incomplete, and it was intended for Ben Spears over the middle. Statler was under pressure and was actually knocked down on that pass, and so we have another 3 and out for the Renegades.
I like the first down play call, trying to catch them off guard, but when you do that and you don't get it, it puts you in a tough situation on your own end of the field. We haven't punted the ball great, and this kid is dangerous back here in Smith. Nice punt.
Good punt taken by Schmidt. Schmidt steps out of bounds at the 42-yard line. So Grad has done a good job of being the next man up in this kicking unit after Aronson had his earlier punt partially blocked, which led to a touchdown about 3 plays later.
So proud of this special teams unit. I can't say it enough. You know, a punter and Grad coming in after the starter shanks it. Tremendous pressure when you're coming in as a backup when that happens. And he's done nothing but do his best trying to flip the field for field position. 1st and 10 for the Rustlers. You got to make sure you stay aware in the secondary because these guys are going to keep trying to take shots with this lead.
Out of the shotgun, Banua hands the ball off to Thomas. Morris. Morris is going to get taken down after only 2 yards. And this is what we're seeing, Kenny. Only giving up 2 yards to this high-powered offense. This Renegades defense is doing its job.
Renegade Rob, we've been doing games together 4 years. You know one thing I hardly ever do, sit down, right? You know I'm frustrated if I'm sitting down right now. Because the defense continues to do its best. But right now they're exhausted. They've been out there the majority of the night. Got to find a way to get off the field.
2nd and 8. Banua out of the shotgun. Looks left. He stays looking left. He's got his man McKissick up the sideline. And that was Thomas Struck who was out there, and he has been tasked to have to cover Will McKissick, 6'3", 260 out of St. John Bosco High School. Gets it down to the 26-yard line. That is the biggest play of the game for this offense so far today.
And we said they're going to continue to try to take shots down the field because they see that they have a defense that's very exhausted. And you see that on that wheel route.
I thought maybe movement on that line right there before the snap as Morris is going to get dropped back. Big hit right there.
Huge hit.
By Wattenbarger and Ginyu.
Huge hit by Wattenbarger, man. He's laying the wood. Like a carpenter.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 from the 26. And again, on that route, again, we talk about it, Kenny, because of everything happening at the Division I level, you get the opportunity to see a guy like Will McKissick, who comes out of St. John Bosco High, going up against Thomas Struck out of the IMG Academy in Orlando. So now he got Banua, looks up, and his pass is going to be incomplete. And a great coverage right there by Wattenbarger on Schmidt.
Amazing job by Wattenbarger, showing exactly why he's out there. He can come up and tackle you and pop you, but he can also get out there and cover you and plaster you in a guy like Schmidt. Great job by Wattenbarger. It's in his blood.
So here we go, 3rd and 10. An opportunity for the Renegades to hold on another 3rd down. We talked about it so far tonight. 3 of 11 for the Rustlers, but the Rustlers are in 4-down territory here. Banua drops back. His pass over the middle. Caught.
Fumble!
Ball
out!
And
Yes!
the Renegades are going to get the football.
That's what I'm talking about, guys. We find a way to keep them off the end zone.
Number 11, Richard Gooden, coming up with that 4th fumble. And number 10, your guy A.J. Snow might have been able to be the one that picked up that fumble. And Kenny is finally out of his Bessie Owens chair.
Come on, man. I mean, how many times do we got to save the day defensively? Offense has to find a way to get a consistent drive and move the chains. This is embarrassing.
So Carson Woods comes back into the game. Ball is recovered at the 14-yard line of the Renegades, 1st and 10. Grant in the game as well, too. Fakes the handoff to Grant, gets it out to Nettles. Nettles breaks a tackle. He's at the 20 and near the 25-yard line, and looks like he might have enough for the 1st down. He did come out of his shoe. So I've been saying that they had Banua in at quarterback, but they haven't, and I do have to practice the pronunciation of their backup quarterback. Kauna Oa, Kama Kawiwa Oa.
Say that fast 3 times. All right, we got a chain move, 1st and 10 for the Renegades, ace formation pistol.
Woods fakes the handoff to Grant. He gets it to Grant. Oh, Grant was open, but it looks like Grant was expecting that to be in the breadbasket, but he put on that back shoulder instead. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 24-yard line.
Great decision as well, because that defender was beaming down on Grant, and you throw that ball inside, that's going to be a pick to the house. You live to fight another down, 2nd and 10.
Morse checks out of the game, so does Fowler, and here comes Nettles back in the game. Looks like Dylan Johnson and Sabal split. Alexander, the tight end, in motion. They give the ball to Grant up the middle. Grant's going to get down to about the 29-yard line for a pickup of 5. Actually, the 33 pickup of 4, so we're going to set up a 3rd and 6 for this Renegades offense. And the Renegades, you just like to see that they put together maybe about 4 or 5 first downs.
Sustain a drive. You have to do your part. If you're not going to score, at least give your defense an opportunity to get some rest.
And what you're noticing is that the defense got up off the bench already on 3rd down. And the pass is going to be complete to Dylan Johnson, and Johnson's got enough for the 1st down at the 36-yard line.
All right, so that's 2 consecutive chains being moved.
2:50 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Renegades down 11, 21-10.
You got to wonder if the Rustlers' defense is playing that bend but don't break. Sooner or later, you're going to have to try to take a shot to loosen them up, especially with a single high safety. And now they drop back into 2 deep.
Woods out of the shotgun, hands the ball to Grant. Grant to the left side. Grant breaks a tackle. He's past the 50-yard line, and he bowls his way up to about the 48. Actually, he stepped out of bounds at the 50, but enough for the Renegade 1st down.
The young man, Grant, one of the most explosive players I've covered over the last 4 years out of Centennial. Definitely capable, and he's taking advantage of his opportunities. 1st and 10.
So he picked up 12, stepped out of bounds actually at the Renegade 48, so he's still on the minus side of the field, but just barely. Woods with 3 straight 1st downs. Fakes the handoff to Grant. Quick pass to Alexander. Alexander is out past the 40-yard line, and he got another Renegades 1st down. 4 in a row, Kenny.
That stick route has been very successful. You know, it doesn't take rocket science in basketball on grass to get successful plays. Sometimes it's just finding the open zones. Great job by Alexander, first down.
So now you got to think that Coach Carl Dean, who's right below us, is radioing down to Coach Dameron to try to figure out what they can do to find a soft spot in this defense to keep these drives sustained and keep that defense on the sideline. Fakes the handoff to Nettles. Woods steps up. He's under pressure, keeps rolling to his right. He's still under pressure. He decides to run it. He's past the 30, past the 25, cuts back at the 20. Great decision right there by Carson Woods. Gets it down to the 19-yard line.
Seawalk, homie. That boy was bouncing through the hole right there. Never saw him have that kind of awareness and vision inside the pocket. First down, Carson Woods.
Seawalk for Carson?
C-W, Seawalk.
The Carson walk?
The Carson walk. First down, Renegades.
You got to love it when we're coming up with these nicknames all over the place. 1st and 10, Renegades inside the Rustler red zone. Woods out of shotgun, hands it off to Nettles. Nettles is going to get it past the 15-yard line. He was able to break first contact and drive by for about another 3 more yards down to the 14, 2nd and 5.
If you're our regular listeners, you know we like to have fun up here. But the reason why we have fun up here is because it's the extra effort plays like that put us back in the game. We need those kind of extra effort plays to raise the energy level. This has been as flat of a Renegade crowd that I've seen.
Woods out of shotgun. Morse in motion, gives the ball to Grant. Grant's got a big hole, and he heads right past the first down markers up to about the 5-yard line. 1st and goal for the Renegades.
How about that offensive line and Grant finding a way to contribute? And this is the next man up mentality because he hasn't had an opportunity.
So that is going to do it for the 3rd quarter. The Renegades are deep inside the Rustler red zone at the 6-yard line. We're going to come back to you with 4th quarter action. Put your fours up for the Renegades as they trail at 21-10 with 15 minutes to play here on Current News Talk, AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and on the YouTube channel for Bakersfield College Athletics.
The following is a presentation of Bakersfield College Athletics. The following is a presentation of Bakersfield College Athletics. The following is a presentation of Bakersfield College Athletics. The following is a presentation of Bakersfield College Athletics. The following is a presentation of Bakersfield College Athletics.
We are back here at Memorial Stadium, 1st and goal for the Renegades at the Rustler 6-yard line as we start this 4th quarter. Ball's handed off to Nettles. Nettles up the middle is not going to gain anything. Might have got a half a yard up to the 5-yard line. So it'll bring up 2nd and goal. And we were talking about it off the air. Kenny, we just need 2 touchdowns here because the defense has been doing we just need 2 touchdowns here because the defense has been doing their job.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to get something out of this drive, but we need touchdowns at this point in the game with 14 minutes left to play in the 4th.
Renegades offense is going to have to do something to get Kenny out of his chair. They've got 5 yards to do it. Woods,
formation.
Under center, gives the ball once again to Nettles, and it didn't seem like anything was there to begin with that I formation.
The strength of this defense in the Rustlers is their interior front 4. the success that we've had in the inside run has just come from some great execution in the blocking schemes. But the closer you get to the end zone, the harder it is to have that success.
And usually when you see that, you're talking about those counters and those draws that you have.
And those trap plays. Twins right.
So here we go. 3rd and goal from the 5, and the Renegades are going to jump. Backs them up 5 yards to the 10-yard line. So we're going to have a 3rd and goal from the 10 after this false start penalty.
And some coaches hate when I say this, but when you're in a 4-down scenario, that penalty doesn't hurt you too much. It actually may help your offense
spread it out a little bit.
Open up the playbook a little more because you have a few more yards to work with. And you might be going for it anyway if you don't get it.
Even though you got a very capable and accurate kicker in Carlos Villa,
yeah.
Renegades are chasing 11. They could put 3 on the board.
Put 3 on and go for,
Go for 2 in the next touchdown. So we'll see what happens here as Woods is out of the shotgun. He looks up. His pass is going to be incomplete.
Dropped.
It was intended for Dylan Johnson, who had it at about the 5-yard line.
Caught it.
Wasn't going to get into the end zone, and now they're going to send Carlos Villa out to attempt what would be about a 28-yard field goal here.
Yeah, and Villa has been money, but you don't want to continue to have to rely on your kicker to keep you in games.
Oh, he actually did catch that. Ball's at the 5. So they called it complete, and now it's going to be a 22-yard field goal from left hash. So here we go. Carlos Villa with Woods to hold. Snap, kick is up, and it is good.
So proud of Carlos.
And we've got a penalty on the play here, so we're going to see what happens.
Uh-oh.
If this is a penalty in between the play, this could be a first down for the Renegades.
First down.
But it depends on if it was in the play. This means if maybe he got in over the deep snapper.
Yeah, let's see.
So Shelton is their deep snapper on PATs. And we're going to see what happened here. So we got a personal foul penalty against the Wrestlers.
Okay.
So it looks like that was probably after the kick.
That he said or did.
Yeah. So the kick, and we go back to Carlos Villa, how proud we are of him.
So proud.
He is now 6 of 6
wow.
on field goals for the year and 12 of 12 from extra points.
In
18 out of 18 is hard to do for pros to do.
Just so proud. Because we've made a point to highlight his consistency every week on the air during our broadcast here, but also on ESPN when we're, having our show on the Early Bird Special with the guys down
Shout
at
out
the,
to Chris and
at
Sparky.
the station. Having a guy like him is such a weapon. And I just talked against putting the kicker out there, though I've been very celebratory in his efforts. Wow.
And talking about weapon, you got Carter Colsar here who could put it in either into the end zone or kick it really high, get that kick coverage down there. So we'll see. Colsar looks like he's just going to put this into the end zone and create a touchback. And why not? You've got a defense that's been out there that has been stifling this Rustler offense.
Yep, and you don't want to try to nothing funny kicking it to Schmidt because he can take it the distance. All right, so here's the scenario. 12:35 to play in the fourth. Plenty of time, right?
They're only down by one score if you get a 2-point conversion. And remember, we were in this situation last year. The Renegades had a chance to tie the ball game.
Yep, and we lost it.
It was 27-25. There was 8 seconds to play in the game. We get into the end zone, and then there was an unsportsmanlike penalty. And it pushed us outside a 2-point conversion range. We still go for it, but it was a 15-yard play, essentially. Handoff and a nice hit.
Missed tackle.
Goes out of bounds. Wattenbarger first was on the scene. He missed it, but Jordan Berry came out of nowhere.
Jordan Berry is smacking stuff today. Got to admire the effort from one of the biggest guys on the field, running about 40 yards from the hash to the sideline and laying a stick on a guy.
Jordan Berry goes 6'2", 295. if you're looking for him.
Boy.
I wouldn't be looking for that guy in the dark alley anywhere.
He's 2 of the high school me. I was 145 in high school. He's 2 of me.
So here we go. Pass.
Nearly
intercepted. And we've got a penalty flag that came a little late. It was an ineligible. So I don't know.
We're going to decline that.
Renegades going to decline that, go 3rd and 8, or they can have a 2nd and 13. We're going to find out what Coach Thompson wants to do here.
If I'm Coach Thompson, I'm declining that because we need the ball fast. To get the ball back, you need to get the team off the field. You don't want to continue to extend downs to a team that's already up because they'll just continue to bleed that clock.
Kamakawiwa Ole, the quarterback.
Kamakawiwa Ole.
We're going to call him KK because he goes, it's Kauna Oa Kamakawiwa Ole out of St. Louis High, also in Honolulu. This seems like Golden West has that Pineapple Express coming from Honolulu, St. Louis High to Golden West in Huntington Beach. Some great surf no matter what, wherever they're going.
My favorite destination. Right now, it's shotgun spread set for the Rustlers. My favorite destination would be a pick to the house.
Renegades do decline that last penalty, so 3rd and 8. Kamakawiwa Ole is going to be under pressure, and he's going to get dropped down. Not going to be a sack, but it will be a tackle, and that is your man, AJ Snow.
The snowman. AJ the Snowman.
We're going to have to call that guy the Informer. Shout out to Canadian reggae rapper Snow.
But hey, talk about the motor on Snow. We're making light of him. But this kid is changing the game, how he's affecting the pass rush. And this defense is playing lights out. Man, I tell you, they make me proud.
And Shanks is going to have an opportunity to return this. Takes it at the 36. Jukes and jives, and he's going to get brought down. Only gets maybe about a yard up to the 37. But, hey, he did his job. Exactly what Coach Dameron was saying. He loves catching punts.
Yeah, I love his confidence. But right now, here's an opportunity for the offense to show people what they're made of. We've seen the offense be very successful. We just sharing some frustration based on what we're seeing today. They definitely have the capabilities to blow a game open.
Now we're going to see that Carson Woods is going to come out for his 2nd straight series. So this is something that we can really take light of in the fact that Carson Woods is going to have a 2nd opportunity in a row to lead this offense.
I love it. Give him some consistency and some rhythm. That's all we've asked for.
So Woods fakes the handoff. He gets it out to Grant. Grant's pass, it's just going to be incomplete. It looked like the pass was tipped at the line, though, and that might have thrown Grant off a little bit. But either way, Grant probably should have at least been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, that's freshman hands right there. I mean, and right now you got to wonder what's happening with Jernigan because we haven't seen him since he made that great run that was called back earlier.
Nettles checks into the game.
Because Jernigan's making that catch.
You also got Austin Tapia in the game.
Former Frontier stud.
Ball handed off to Nettles, and Nettles is going to go nowhere. And I'll tell you, this defensive line for the Rustlers, they themselves have stepped up as well, just like the Bakersfield College line, and have been stifling this run game so far. And you ask for Jernigan, he's checking back in.
Jernigan's probably our best dual threat back, catching passes out of the backfield.
Yep.
Right now, that will be a great play, getting him isolated on one of these linebackers. I'll take Jernigan over a linebacker any day. 3rd and 10.
You almost see like that stack for the Rustlers as they come out of it. There's going to be pressure. Now Nettles is going to get the football. He cuts back inside. He's going to try to make a move. He's still on his feet. He gets –
he got it.
He's close to the first down.
I'm right here.
Great second effort. Kenny is right on the first down marker. Straight up here on the Dameron deck, we do have an injured Rustler on the field, and they are going to give him a first down.
Because it's right on the 46-yard line. My right foot is on the 46-yard line.
And he was hit at the 42.
Man, and he probably heard me say that Jernigan was the best dual threat back because he caught that ball out of the backfield, made 3 people miss, an extra effort at the end, got that first down, partner.
I got some Alabama for you, right? Some Alabama shakes.
Yeah, he got that. He must got his earpiece in with YouTube live playing.
All right.
Courtesy of Gio.
Okay, so there's you know what, Bubba, he has his nickname of Bubba, but you know what? He's Alabama Shakes. Shout out to the band.
Wow. I mean, so, hey, great play, but another great call as you call that quick screen to the back, and you send that left tackle and that left guard screaming to go get that outside defensive back. And like I said earlier, as a defensive back, that's the last thing you want to see is a tackle and a guard coming out at you on that screen play.
Dalen Sawney was the injured rustler. He's going to walk off a little gingerly under his own power, though. First down for the Renegades. 10-19 still remaining in this football game. Ball at the 46-yard line. And the Renegades are driving.
Best drive of the game so far for the Renegades, other than the scoring touchdown drive.
So here we go. Woods out of the shotgun. Spears in motion. Woods steps up. His pass is – oh! Dylan Johnson had that, but it looks like he was already ready to put that away into the – basically into his gut and start running with that. All he had to do was just use some soft hands. Second
drop for Johnson, too, on the night. He's a kid that we said is stepping into the leadership role.
Man, that's tough right there because that's a great ball by Carson Woods.
Yeah, great protection, too, in the pocket. That was textbook pocket protection.
So 2nd and 10 from the 46. Woods hands the ball off to Nettles. Nettles escapes that first contact once again and is able to get 3 yards up to the 49-yard line, setting up a 3rd and 7.
Man, making the first man miss is so pivotal, and he does it so often. Great strength in the legs of Bubba Nettles on that power play. 3rd and 7.
Fowler checks out of the game. You're going to have number 42, Brett Jones, coming in for the Renegades in at tight end.
Tight ends have been very key in these cross blocks and traps, but right now we got to get lined up.
And him and Morris switch sides.
5 seconds left on the play clock. Got to get the ball snapped.
So they're going to have to call a timeout with 9:20, and it'll give us an opportunity to call a timeout here as well on Kern News Talk AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and live streaming on the Bakersfield College Athletics YouTube channel. And we are back here at Bakersfield College Memorial Stadium. Rob Chavez with Kenny Calvin.
What?
21-13, Golden West with 9:20 remaining in this ball game. After the timeout, Woods steps into a pass, and his pass is complete. And a first down. Looks like that's Ben Spears. And he made that catch at the 40-yard line.
Amazing catch by the former Southwest Mojo
and
Stockdale Mustang.
And he knew he was going to take a hit and still was able to haul it in. First down at the Rustler 40-yard line with just over 9 minutes to play in this game.
Huge throw. But again, what are you seeing? You're seeing a quarterback in rhythm.
He's got momentum. Woods out of the shotgun, fakes the handoff. He's got backside pressure, and he's just going to have to go down for the sack.
And that's not on him because you have a bootleg play into a blitz. That's a situation where the offensive coordinator basically just was outmatched by the defensive coordinator as they send pressure off the edge.
A loss of 4, back to the 44-yard line.
What you like about Woods and what he didn't try to do anything extra and continue to retreat. He got back towards the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, tried to get as many yards back as he could. First contact was made at about the 48. He was able to get about another 4 more yards. So now we got another blitz that comes. He's able to sniff it out, gets it to Spears.
Ball is out.
Spears puts it on the ground. Rustlers have it.
Ball is out again.
Yeah, it looks like, they did try to get the ball out again, but the Rustlers continue to have it. And Ben Spears, after making a fantastic catch a couple of plays ago, hauls it in, and then immediately the defensive back was able to punch it right out. Yeah. And Drew Faulkner with another turnover for the Rustlers, and they're going to have it 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Well, you like the offensive play selection. You love the throw.
Everything was going good.
But again, we don't protect the football, so I'm going to sit back down. This is why coaches have gray hair or none at all.
Ball handed off to number 22, Aaron Mitchell. And tell you what, Mitchell has not had a very good day today. Miles Poole with that tackle at the line of scrimmage. Coming into this game, Aaron Mitchell was averaging 9.5 yards per game, 17 attempts for 162 yards, and nothing to it really today as Mitchell has 3 carries for 6 yards.
Defense has done a stellar job, but you can't keep being out here.
Pass is up, and it is incomplete. It was intended for Schmidt. Wattenbarger once again in on the coverage, and Wattenbarger's done a really good job of bottling up Schmidt, who was the 3C 2A Player of the Week last week.
Boy, I just had a weird feeling in my stomach as that ball went up in the air because I was basically about to say, no matter how good of defense you've been playing, if you're out there long enough, bad things can happen. 3rd and 10 for the Rustlers. Renegades trying to get off the field again after being sabotaged by a turnover-infested offense.
Kamakawiwa Ole still out there for the Rustlers in at quarterback out of the shotgun with Mitchell behind him. He gets it out to Mitchell in the flat. Mitchell is going to get dragged down by Drew Underwood. Once again came out of absolutely nowhere to bring that down, and here comes the Rustler punt unit. So, again, the Renegades defense picks up Ben Spears in this offense. And, again, if they score right over here, that's one of those, hey, we picked you up, my man.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those scenarios where you just got to praise the defense for continuing to find a way to get off the field against this high-octane offense. This is one of the best defensive games we've seen.
And now Shanks is going to have an opportunity here, picks it up at the 18-yard line. He's going to run right into a defender at the 25, so maybe picks up about 7 yards to the 25, and the Renegades are going to have just about 6.5 minutes to go in order to put 8 points on the board and tie this ball game.
And if I'm Coach Dean and Coach Paul and Coach Chap and Dameron, you want to try to take advantage and win first down, of course, but you definitely want to do something to try to put yourself in a position to have a makeable 3rd down conversion opportunity and get off this end of the field.
And now you've got Malachi Statler checking into the game for the first time since the 3rd quarter. Jernigan behind him. The handoff is to Jernigan. He goes up the middle, and that is really hasn't been really going anywhere, Kenny. He picks up a yard to the 26-yard line, but now you're starting to look at this clock. Got a little over 6 minutes to play. They have 2 timeouts remaining, but if the Renegades get down there and let's say they don't convert, the Renegades have to have another possession.
Yeah. And, I do like the call, though, because we haven't been very successful passing on first down in recent drives. It's just the strength of this defense is up front. So we got to do a great job of getting those cross-trap blocks in.
Yeah, big number 68, Dalen Sowney, back in at nose tackle for the Rustlers after coming out for an injury. Alexander in motion. Malachi gets flushed out of the pocket, and his pass is incomplete. It was supposed to be towards Alexander. Statler looks like he was shoved down to the ground after that had been released, and he's still on the ground. I think he hit the back of his head right there. Carson Woods is going to come right back into this ballgame.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Malachi, but I will say at this juncture in the game and how well Carson Woods played the 2 previous drives, I feel like it's a moment where you should have let him come out and try to finish the game.
Right.
And I've said this, and not to be overly critical, but we're seeing it, so we have to talk about it. The quarterback's changing. It changes momentum and energy. Carson Woods, that last drive and fumble wasn't on him. He threw an amazing ball that put us in a position to get a first down. Unfortunately, it was fumbled by Spears. The next series, a different quarterback comes in. Sometimes that can get into the head of a young offense, and as well as the individual players, and wondering like, dang, he was just playing well. Why ain't he coming back in? Because this is a moment where you want the hottest guy. You want the hottest guy to finish the game.
Again, big shout out to Coach Gass, Coach Thompson, and this defense for doing what they've been doing. And actually, Statler was coming off limping he's favoring that left side.
Good to see him getting up under his own power, though.
Yes.
He is one of the toughest kids in our locker room and the leader of this team. I didn't see the end of that where he was slammed to the ground, but it would have been nice to see some laundry with it.
So now Woods in at quarterback out of the shotgun, 3rd and 9 from the 26-yard line. Woods looks up, and his pass is going to be, nearly completed to Ben Spears. Spears had a hand on it. It looked like he turned around a little bit too late. The ball was already on him, and with 5:35 remaining in this football game, Grad is going to come out again with this punt unit.
Well, Coach Ornelas, rest in peace. He used to say, if you touch it, it's supposed to be yours. Spears tried to get his head over. Really, he turned his head around too late on that post corner route, trying to sell that he was going post. And that's a route that he'll improve on.
You got to snap your head around a lot faster.
Yep, got to get that head around.
Grat gets a good punt away. Taken by Schmidt. Fair caught at the 46-yard line. So the Renegades are hoping to get a 3 and out and hopefully maybe even force a turnover here to get this football back.
I was just about to say, how about a 1 and out? I did it twice in my career. That's when you tell Coach, hey, Coach, I got you.
And that's why number 23 is in the Hall of Fame. And that's why you guys got to come out to Luigi's on October 9th and see other guys that force turnovers.
Absolutely.
Like the great Rick Van Horn, like the great
The
Tyrone.
all-time leading interception.
Tyrone Crawford, former Dallas Cowboy. Here we go. Kamakawiwa Ole over the middle. His pass is incomplete, intended for McKissick, the big tight end.
And talk about a way to try to lose a game. It's coming out here throwing when all you need to do is try to sit on the clock, get some first downs. You give the Renegades a huge opportunity with that incomplete pass in the Rustlers.
Real quick shout out to Kyle Kerr down there on the 16-yard line, picking up for his old man, the dean of local sports, Greg Kerr.
Saw Kyle last night in Dorsey.
Ball handed off up the middle to Mitchell. Mitchell's going to go absolutely nowhere. So this is
wow,
going to set
he's still
up.
on his feet, partner.
Yeah, he is. So they are
still
pushing this
going
pile,
forward.
And this is going to be close to a first down.
Wow, he got 9 extra yards.
Yeah, he did. That first contact was at the 47-yard line.
Oh, and now a late penalty.
And we're going to see exactly who this is on. If this is on the Rustlers.
Oh, bonehead move.
This is a bonehead move for the Rustlers. With 5 minutes exactly on the clock, it stops for this penalty. We're going to find out what this late penalty was for. Number 77 for the Rustlers came out of there very upset. Tyler Smith, 6'5", 315. That's a big fella.
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate penalty as we get the conference.
Yeah, that was going to set up 3rd and 1 for the Rustlers and their ability to knock some more time off the clock.
Yeah, they basically could have put a nail in the coffin with 5 to go.
So now we got a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Rustlers.
And it's dead ball.
Dead
so
ball
the
means the down counts, yeah. So 3rd down.
Oh, my goodness.
Takes it back to the 40-yard line. So 3rd and 16 for the Rustlers.
Huge mistake by the Rustlers. Keeps us in this football game. Because that not only does that take it away from being 3rd and short, it flips the field position again, partner.
Yes, it does. You see both of our athletic directors also near the Renegades end zone over there at the 2-yard line. Ayana Tweedy, Carly Flowers, along with Todd Hansen and Lori Ambrose. Kamakawiwa Ole escapes the pocket, and he's going to get brought down. Big tackle by number 9, Tyler Lewis. Tyler had 9 tackles last game to match his number. It's the first time we've had a chance to call his number tonight, and that sets up another 4th down. 4.5 minutes to play. The Renegades are really going to have to get something going here with this next drive because they are running out of time. They've got 2 timeouts remaining. So here we go. Punt unit out there for the Rustlers. Dejon Shanks standing at the 23-yard line.
Ooh, huge punt.
Big punt. Shanks is going to call it fair. It's going to bounce, and it's going to be touchdown at the 7-yard line. So the Renegades have 93 yards to go in order to potentially tie this football game up and get this game back even. 4:07 remaining in this game. Carson Woods likely coming out with this offense. You said it, they usually haven't found a whole lot of success on first down pass plays, but they might have to try to change something up. You see Nettles split wide right.
Well, right now, if we don't get anything out of this drive, that punt by Mr. Stock will be the play of the game for me because that was a booming punt that flipped the field position.
There goes your empty set right there. Woods drops back, and his pass is going to be complete.
Oh, that should be targeting.
That should be a targeting penalty, and number 9 might have – that could be an ejection right there. Number 19, Ben Spears, is down. What a great catch by that young man out of Stockdale High School, but he is down. And number 9 is Tayden Rogers out of Los Alamitos High. Well, he went up real high for that one. Definitely a helmet-to-helmet contact.
Amazing catch.
And hold on to it.
Great hit. But how about the pass into triple coverage? Because it was a
back
defender
shoulder.
Underneath, over the top, and outside.
That was a tight window right there. So
wow.
We're going to find out here what the call is. We know it's going to be a personal foul penalty against the Rustlers.
Wow. I mean, tough hit. I mean, Spears dropped some earlier. That catch right there makes up for all of them. I mean, way to sacrifice yourself for the greater good of the team because he definitely knew he was about to get plastered.
So number 9 is ejected from the game. It was confirmed as a targeting penalty.
And that's at the end of the catch, too, so that's going to yield huge yards. Turns into about a 30-yard play as the Renegades were inside the 10.
And Spears jogging off the field. I think he just needed a little bit of time.
And a little bit of encouragement and claps. Once he heard the applause, he popped right up like, all right, I'm good, y'all. Good acting job, Spears.
Yeah. Hey, I've been taken off of my cleats before, I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah, I have too. Right about that same spot by East High Blade named Rick Sanchez.
Big Rick, Big Chongo.
Took me out on a kickoff right there. Same spot. All right, shotgun double set for the Renegades.
Woods. Quick pass, and that's to Shanks. That's going to be incomplete. Would have been about a 9-yard reception right there, but it stops the clock with 3:52 And normally, Kenny, we'd be finishing up with about the first quarter right here, and you'd be getting your sundown picture, but I seen you got it about 2 or 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, on the side where the sun sets, that's a tradition. I always got to get my sunset photo. Right now, we're hoping that the sun doesn't set on us with 3:52 left with the scoreboard down. Shotgun double set for Woods. Robert covers look for the defense, and they're sending pressure.
Looked like they were offsides as well, too, and another big hit on Chad Sabal over the middle. And again, they want to know if that was actually before the ball even got there. Did he make contact? Must have been right on time.
Yeah, they're sitting in that zone, and they're watching the ball. It's the luxury that you have when you're up. Sooner or later, you're going to have to try to take a shot downfield because you got guys sitting on routes. Got to go ahead and take a shot.
So Saleu was on that last coverage. 3rd and 10 for the Renegades. Ball at the 38. Passes out to Nettles. Nettles is going to get a block. He's going to get up past the 40-yard line to the 42, so it's going to set up a 4th down, and with 3:30 remaining, they're going to send the punt unit out, Kenny.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a good call because if you don't get it, the game is basically over. But with 3 timeouts or 2 timeouts and 3:27 to play, you want to try to punt the football and pin them, hoping that you can find a way to get them off the field again as well as your defense has been playing again. I pretty much know that we're leading them in total yards, yet we're losing.
Big kick by Gratt. It's going to be taken back at the 18-yard line. And I'll tell you what, it's given this opportunity for these punters to really show out.
So proud of Gratt and Villa coming out here and doing the best they can to try to keep us in position. Amazing punt all the way back to the 18-yard line. And now for the Renegades, this is a period of time where, hey, tackle and strip. It's not just tackle. You had a running back basically carry 9 people on the last drive, right? There's no way that guy should be able to carry the football and 9 people.
And how about that? Round of applause. You don't ever really get to see what athletic directors have to do. Athletic director Ayanna Tweedy here made sure she went over to the sideline of the Rustlers as the Rustlers get the ball up to about the 27-yard line for an 8-yard gain. Now we're going to have a timeout on the field. But Ayanna made sure that she went over to go introduce herself, spoke to number 9, Traden Rogers, who was ejected from the game, and made sure he was off the sideline because that's where he's supposed to be. It's also our game manager, too, Christopher Sanchez down there, also explaining to the athletic director for the Rustlers what's going to happen. Traden's going to have to finish the game back in the locker room.
All right, 2nd and short, partner. That clock is chopping, too. There ain't no hurry.
No, it's not. And remember, they still have a 2-minute timeout plus the 2 timeouts remaining. The clock continues to run. 13 seconds remaining on the play clock. 2nd and 2 from the 27-yard line. The Rustlers haven't had a first down in quite some time. They rush it up the middle. They're going to get that first down right now to the 30-yard line. So the clock is going to stop momentarily to get the chains moved, and they're probably going to take this all the way down to the 2-minute timeout. When we get to that 2-minute timeout, we are going to take a break here and come back for the last 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, very unfortunate last 2 minutes. As we near that 2-minute mark, Renegades trailing 8.
So that'll stop the clock with 2 minutes to play. We're going to come right back here on 96.1 FM, Kern News Talk AM 1180, and on the YouTube channel for Bakersfield College Athletics. Stay tuned for the last 2 minutes of the game. And welcome back to Bakersfield College Memorial Stadium, right here on Current News Talk AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and live streaming on the Bakersfield College Athletics YouTube channel. 2 minutes to go in this ball game as the sun sets on the West Coast. Kamakawiwa Ole hands the ball off. It looks like that's Thomas up the middle. Thomas is going to get dragged down by Mario Rivas at the 34-yard line. A timeout for the Renegades stops the clock at 1 minute and 52 seconds. So the Renegades will be able to stop the clock one more time. And really, you got to think that if the Rustlers pick up one more first down, this is going to do it. So Rustlers are 7 yards away from coming on the road, maybe only gaining half the amount of yards that this Renegades offense did, and come up with a win.
You know, we've heard the term finding ways to win. It seems like in recent weeks we're just finding ways to lose. You know, I hate to say it like that, but
snatching victories from the jaws of defeat.
Right, because when you look at the stats, the stats have victory written all over it in every way except for the turnover battle.
Yeah, 294 total yards for the Renegades compared to 187 yards for the Rustlers, yet they're trailing by 8. Renegades have had the football nearly 34 minutes. Rustlers right at about the 23-minute mark.
You know, it's unfortunate, but again, this is a young football team with a young head coach trying to find ways to win, but it's not him turning the ball over.
152. They hand the ball to Mitchell. Mitchell's going to get dropped back for a loss to the 31-yard line. Now we've got a penalty, and we've got another penalty against the Renegades, so this is going to be offsetting penalties here after the play.
As the Renegade, you got to be smarter than that.
Right.
You just had an opportunity.
Jordan Berry didn't have to really do anything. All he had to do was just stand there, because it would have gone back 15 yards even after that play. It would have taken him back to the 16, but now it's going to be offsetting.
And it would have stopped the clock, partner.
Right. It still stops the clock because it's extracurricular, which this is big for the Renegades. They don't have to spend their last timeout right here, and so they're going to have about a 3rd and I would say 9. If they stop the Rustlers right here, they're going to be able to stop the clock right at around a minute, maybe 40, minute 35. Get the ball back, maybe a minute and a half to go to try and tie this ball game, but they're not going to have any timeouts remaining.
You got to be disciplined, though. Right there, you have a situation where we're looking to try to find a way to get back in the game. Their player does something ridiculous, yielding a 15-yard penalty, and we give them the 15 right back. That's just a bonehead play.
Right. One of those things that they're going to see in film session on Monday.
Right. That play could have cost us the game.
Right. And again, it always seems like it happens against the Rustlers, right?
Right. I mean, the Rustlers.
Those cheap jeans.
Cheap jeans. They ain't the Wranglers. They the Rustlers. And, you know, we having a little fun, but we have had some games where it got a little bit too testy and we couldn't even shake hands at the end of it.
No.
So
a lot of laundry out on the field.
That's why we call them the Rustlers. The jeans you used to get from Kmart. That's why Kmart closed.
The blue light special.
But, you know, nonetheless, if it wasn't a 5-minute conference, we wouldn't have time to make these kind of jokes, but we got to fill the air the best way we can.
Yeah,
so
again,
by doing that, we can send people to GoGaze.com. They can get tickets for their table. Hall of Fame. Well, we also have some amazing contests coming up this week. Go to GoToGaze.com and check out your favorite sport. See who you can come and support. Water polo had their first game on campus in history. That was amazing. You got volleyball, you got basketball getting ready. They've been working out. They're not playing yet, but they've been working out.
Kenny, Rob, and don't forget, subscribe to the BC Athletics YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
Hey, how about that?
To those of you watching right now, be sure to click that
subscribe
button.
Like and subscribe.
Click that like button.
You see,
Support BC Athletics.
We need the millennial energy from Gio General Lau to be able to make sure that we have that like and subscribe. A couple of old Gen Xers up
right. Hey, so proud of you, Gio. You know, you
hustled
handle
today.
so many different responsibilities, man. We're grateful for you.
Thank
We're
you,
definitely proud of how you continue to excel and keep us in a position to do these amazing things.
Unsportsmanlike conduct call.
So all these penalties offset. So that was a 5-minute call. And now, hold on, wait a minute. They're calling second down. I don't understand how this was, because this is dead ball. We're supposed to have third down. It says third down on the box.
Yeah, and you're going to get another quick conference with the white hat. Very confused, but we're going to be nice to those guys.
Yeah, because, again, these are dead ball penalties, meaning that play counts. Afterwards, the penalties come out.
It's going to be 3rd and 9.
So hopefully we all, and we have third down on the scoreboard, third down on the box.
All right, so we're still in the game. You got an opportunity to get a stop here. The Renegades don't have any more timeouts, so you can't allow them to get any.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about, again, that Hall of Fame. Get your tickets. It would be good to see. I'm looking forward to seeing Sean go in. Sean was one of the nicest dudes you can have around a baseball program. I mean, again, in a college baseball clubhouse, you get a lot of guys that are very good. They know they're the best players on the team. That guy didn't walk around as if he was the best guy on the team. He walked around just like a real humble guy. Went on to LSU. And one of the things I do remember, a couple years after I was done playing, a couple years after I was playing with him, he goes to LSU, and they play in the most attended college baseball game ever in the Superdome.
Wow.
23,000 people filled up the Superdome to watch the LSU Tigers play, and Barker was out there in the outfield. Pretty cool.
I have some amazing memories of the Superdome in my days in Baton Rouge.
Third down. Rustlers are going to pick up some yards, and it's going to bring up 4th down. So the Renegades, I don't understand. Okay, so they didn't have a timeout.
Bakersfield, number 58, has to go up for one play.
So Rivas looks like.
10-second runoff.
Wow, a 10-second runoff because the helmet comes off?
But then again, I don't understand how the Renegades didn't have a timeout. So we went into that, and they didn't have a timeout. So now we've got a 4th and 4, and the Rustlers have their offense out on the field. And this is going to be interesting. If the Rustlers decide to run this play and get a first down, this could end the football game.
Yeah, but if they run a play and they don't get it,
this is a big risk.
Football right.
So here we go.
Position.
Minute to go. They're going to probably run this thing all the way down. They can run it down to about 40 seconds, a little over 40 seconds, and then they'll call a timeout. Maybe they'll kick a punt. But I'm confused as to how the Renegades lost a timeout in that entire conference there.
Timeout. Golden West.
I think what happened.
We're going to have to find out about that.
There was probably a scenario where there was a possible runoff, or you could use your timeout, and that's possibly what happened in that sequence. But
Gotcha.
hey, partner. Again, we're gonna go away from this game, win or lose, talking about how we should have been in a position to put this team away big time, and here we are down by 8 with 45 seconds left, praying for an opportunity.
Are we going to have a situation here where we've got like a David Stevenson back there? It's able to take it back to the house.
What I would do right now is I'm coming all-out block. I'm sending an all-out block because the offense hasn't really been able to do much to show me that they're going to be able to go 70 or 80 yards. So what I'm doing is putting all of my money into the line of scrimmage and trying to come after this punt.
And even if there's a low snap, maybe a high snap, you have an opportunity to go after the ball.
Absolutely. Give some stress to the punter and the long snapper, hoping to create a shank or get all of it, scoop and score.
Aaron Stock back deep to punt. No gunners out there. They did not take it in. A bad punt for Stock. Stock's punt is going to go out at maybe the 40-yard line. All Stock had to do was get it deep. Wow. So the Renegades are going to have the football. We're going to see where they're going to stop at the 45-yard line. So the Renegades 55 yards away with 39 seconds. We're going to keep it right here, folks. This is exciting. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to want to turn this up. Stand up if you need to. Let's get some good energy coming towards this Renegades offense here because they've been needing it tonight. And this right here could be a season-changing drive here with 39 seconds remaining, no timeouts. Carson Woods out of the shotgun with Bubba Nettles to his right. Woods steps up. He's going to try to run it out of bounds. He's going to have to get out of bounds, and he does get out of bounds, and he's going to get about 7 yards on that play to the Rustler 48-yard line. Clock stops at 31 seconds after a 7-yard pickup. That was kind of dangerous. You know, what do you want to do? You want to save a second or pick up 2 more yards? Typically, you want to make sure that you're not making any contact with that defender and get out. So 2nd and 2 after an 8-yard pickup for Woods.
Renegade's got to get lined up right.
Empty set here for Woods. Pass is incomplete. It was intended for Johnson.
I'll say one thing, partner. We try to give love to our receivers today, but we've seen a lot of balls on the ground.
At least the 4th
after
drop.
They've touched hands. Got to do a better job securing the catches, especially for first downs when you're trying to get that clock stopped with positive progress. 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2 from the 47-yard line. Renegades with 29 seconds remaining in the game. And I tell you, not a whole lot of energy out there in the crowd as well, too. As Nettles is going to have a first down. They're going to move the chains. They're probably going to have to clock this.
You're going to clock it.
So 22 seconds remaining. They're going to set up the football. They finally get on it. They're going to snap it. 20 seconds left. And it's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
It looked like the Renegades got away with one right there because it looked like that was a fumbled snap that they called incomplete.
He fumbled it, but he pushed it down to the ground with 2 hands. And typically that's a fumble. Like you said, you usually got to have it with 1 hand and spike it down to the ground. So 2nd down and 10 from the 38, 20 seconds remaining. And, again, no life out in this crowd either, Kenny. Usually when you're on offense, you got a chance to win this game. Everybody's up on their feet. Woods over the middle. His pass is incomplete. Tipped up in the air, and there was a man wide open streaking into the end zone. I think that was Chad Sabal or Dejon Shanks. I think that was Shanks. If Wood pump fakes that, he has the time, and he had Shanks open in the end zone.
Oh, all right, 3rd and 10, 16 seconds left. You can't have this ball in bounds if it's below the sticks.
So here we go. Rustler's only rushing 3. Quick pass out to the sideline.
Got to get out of bounds.
He gets out of bounds.
First down, too.
Close to a first down. I don't think he got it.
Sure.
So it's going to be 4th and 1 with 10 seconds remaining. But, you know, the Renegades really, with 10 seconds left, Kenny, are you just extending this drive, trying to get out of bounds, getting maybe 3 or 4 yards, and then setting up a couple of plays into the end zone?
Well, you're definitely wanting to call your money play.
Look at soft coverage, 10 yards off the ball.
Oh, you got him.
Free play.
Free play.
Get down. Now you got to get down.
Right.
So clock's going to stop because of this penalty. 3 seconds remaining, so the Renegades are going to probably take this play here. They're going to get on the line. They're going to clock the ball, and one shot here as they got to call the penalty first.
Right. They have to stop the clock to call the penalty, and that should be a 4 seconds on that clock.
Wow, so we have come down to this, folks. One play, it looks like, is going to be from the 18-yard line. So offsides penalty against the Rustlers. It's going to be declined. So this will be the last play, barring a defensive penalty here. So the clock is going to run on the snap, but they've got to get the football down. But the Rustlers are actually going to call a timeout before the snap. So it's really going to save the Renegades. And honestly, all this does for the Rustlers is allow them to set up their defense for one last play.
Hey, but if you're the Renegades, this is exactly where you want to be in this moment.
It took 59 minutes and 57 seconds to put yourself in a position to win this game.
And I need to take that back because you don't want to be in this position down 8 points.
Now,
let me take that back.
Now, you tell me, we've seen this, though, Kenny, where you throw this into coverage somehow, and if a Renegade offensive player is able to get anywhere near it, maybe have a chance at having a pass interference call, something like that, but you want to put this into the end zone.
You got to put the ball in play
right.
into the end zone. Yes.
Right.
You don't want to take a sack. You don't want to throw the ball short of the end zone.
And the Rustlers, they've been showing that they've only rushed 3, may rush 4 here, but they're definitely going to have kind of a soft zone right here in this situation. As you see, they've only got 3 men on the line. They've dropped 8. And they're going to send 5 receivers out into 8-man coverage here. So here we go, folks. Carson Woods from the 18-yard line. He looks up. He's going to pass it, and it's going to be incomplete, and that'll be the ball game. The pass was intended for Dylan Johnson at the 11-yard line. He had 3 men in the area. Even if he would have caught it, probably would have been tackled. But that'll do it. The Renegades drop their second straight, and their second straight to a top 5 ranked team in the state of California, 21-13. We'll come back here after a few minutes as the Renegades fall right here at Memorial Stadium on Current News Talk AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and live streaming on the Bakersfield College Athletics YouTube channel. All right, welcome back to Bakersfield College Memorial Stadium, where the Renegades dropped their second contest in a row, 21-13 against the Golden West Rustlers. You hear the sigh from the Hall of Famer Kenny Calvin. This is Rob Chavez. Kenny was just lamenting the loss here, and really what goes through his mind as a player in games like these.
What goes through our mind is this is on us. Like coaches get so much criticism in losses. But if you look at the football game, you see players in the middle of plays that were called great plays, and you're not executing the play all the way through the whistle. You're fumbling the football. Fumbles aren't on coaches, right? We have a fumble at the beginning of the game. We have another fumble after a tough catch by Spears, who made some great catches, by the way, right? But another fumble after a successful play that leads to a scenario, and not to mention the fumbled snap that was 3 feet high and rising like De La Soul from the 30-yard line when we were getting ready to go in. It could have been up 17-14 or at least 13-14 with an automatic man like Carlos Villa. We fumble that snap, give the ball away. Those aren't coaches' mistakes. People always want to make things tough on coaches after losses. Players have to be accountable when they don't do things the right way that take away games, and that's on the guys. Like, the guys have to find a way to possess the football and control the football, because I guarantee you all week that's what you were told, because we had so many turnovers last week.
Yeah, and I was also bringing up the fact that having these two games, these were what the coaching staff felt were going to be the jumping off points for the season, what was going to really tell the tale of how competitive we are with some of the best in the state.
All right.
Both of these last two teams ranked number 5 and ranked number 4 today. And the Renegades played with them and really controlled the line of scrimmage most of the game in this game and outgained both teams over the last 2 weeks.
How do you outgain teams offensively in yardage and still lose? You turn the ball over.
Correct. And so what this really tells us is that, again, and we noticed this in the first couple of games, Santa Ana has shown that they're not a very strong team after, now they're going to probably be 1-3 after this week. Allen Hancock got a win, but even then they didn't look as strong as what we thought they were going to look coming out of that first week that they played. But we were close with even those teams, and that was because we were also making some untimely penalties, but we just were dominant so much. It really shows up against teams like Ventura and Golden West, who have some top-tier talent and don't really make a whole lot of mistakes.
Right, you can't make those kind of mistakes against top-caliber teams. Top 5 teams are top 5 teams for a reason, right? They execute and take advantage of opportunities. Very frustrating, of course. But, again, the things that we're saying is there's a lot of light at the end of the tunnel for a Renegades team if they can just find the simple way to protect the football. You offensively outgained 2 of the top 5 teams in the state over the past 2 weeks, and you couldn't find ways to get the wins, and it's just based on turnovers. I can't even change the subject because the turnovers stick out so much in my head. So what I will do is highlight the great things that I am proud of. Carlos Villa, come on, man.
Continues to stay perfect
on the year. Grat coming in and having a phenomenal day punting the football, keeping us in the game. But the way the defense continued to get the 3 and outs in the second half to give us opportunity all the way to the end.
Yeah, I'd really like to see a defense that would say that they're anything near this Bakersfield College defense in the state. I don't think there is one. Right. Because if you're holding a team, 2 teams that one averaged over 500 yards in their first 2 games, the other team that's averaging over 440 yards in their first 3 games, and you limit them to under 300 yards combined over the last 2 weeks, I don't know if there's another defense that's been as good since we've been together here. I mean, Listen, the Renegades 58 plays against this this Golden West offense. They only gave up 157 yards, but they were 3 of 16 on third down.
All right, that's amazing.
They
defense.
were getting them 3 and out quite often.
Wow.
They weren't able to convert their only fourth down conversion that they tried. We sacked them 5 times for 22 yards going the other way.
And that's one of the things that's exhausting as a player, because you left it all out on the field and still not able to get it done just based on lack of execution.
Yeah. Renegades had the ball 34.5 minutes to 25.5 minutes for Golden West. So, again, what you're going to see in the box score is that the Renegades just gave away a game that they should have dominated today here at home. Golden West had to go to their backup quarterback. Of course, they had to go to their backup quarterback to get me to have to pronounce this name, Kamakawiwa Ole. Carson Woods, 18 of 31 for 183 yards. Malachi Statler, 3 of 9 for 35 yards, had a touchdown, and that touchdown went to Dylan Johnson. Johnson has been his favorite target in the end zone so far, and he was his final target at the end of the game, although he would have been short. Jaheim Alexander had a nice game, 3 catches for 57 yards. Ian Jernigan leading the way, 11 carries for 49 yards. But
he didn't play in the second half.
Not hardly, but it was good to see Jason Grant, 6 carries for 30 yards. Bubba Nettles, 18 carries for 37 yards. You got to also hand it to this Golden West defensive line up front. They did hold the Renegades' rushing attack to only 114 yards, where the Renegades were averaging over 180 yards so far this year. So, again, just a frustrating loss, but the Renegades will get right back to it. They're going to be on the road against the Pasadena Van Horns down there in Pasadena.
We get to play our little bro who's coaching down there.
Former Renegade and Middle Tennessee Blue Raider Vince Van Horn. I'm sure Dad's going to probably be there live as we're going to be covering it from the station. They actually lost today in Santa Clarita 20-14 against Canyons today. And in some other scores from around the area or around the conference, Cerritos is up big, 35-0 against Orange Coast. Orange Coast is going to probably struggle for the rest of the year. We get them a little bit later on in the season. 2:17 remaining in the second quarter. Cerritos is up by 5 touchdowns. Nice game down in ELAC. Fullerton up 12-7 over East LA at the start of the second quarter. So, again, we're starting this at 4 o'clock, which is why we probably won't even find out finals until a little bit later tonight. We also have another score I know we did have that we wanted to bring you. Actually, that pretty much about does it. Like I said, Hancock got a win over Santa Ana 39-20. Long Beach over Santa Barbara 28-0. Mount Sac beating Citrus 33-21. And Mount Sac is also up there in the top 10 for the state. So the Renegades are, again, on the road at Pasadena, and then they're going to have a bye week to follow after that. And then we are right back here for homecoming week. Again, big homecoming week. It's also Hall of Fame week for the Renegades here, and we're going to have some new inductees on October 9th. Where are we going to get those tickets?
We're going to GoGaze.com. It's going to be my 1-year anniversary of joining the illustrious Hall of Fame. That doesn't happen if my 2 Hall of Fame teammates didn't go in before me. It's easy to get in when you got Hall of Fame teammates in there because they know what you did. Like they actually were there with you to know that you deserve to be in. So grateful for that experience. It's going to be an amazing event. Still trying to shake this loss off. Very optimistic for our guys because when you lose games like this, like we said, it shows the capability. We can beat anybody if we don't beat ourselves.
Right. So, again, we're right back here on the air next week at 6 o'clock where the Renegades are going to be facing Pasadena. In Pasadena, we're going to be covering it only on 96.1 FM, AM 1180 on Kerr News Talk from the station.
And you guys got to make sure you tune in on Wednesday mornings, every
Correct.
Wednesday.
The early bird special.
ESPN Radio.
With Chris and Sparky at 7:30. We'll be on the air to cover a little bit more, do a little bit more analysis of this game, and look forward to the game against Pasadena, where the Renegades are going to try to improve on thetheir record. They are 2-2, 0-1 in conference play, but we've got a lot of season to go. And from all looks of it, we got the best opponent out of the way for now. We'll wait to see what the rest of the season holds for us, and we'll be right back here at Memorial Stadium in 3 weeks for homecoming against Startup. You did a bang-up job.
Yeah, thank you.
Kenny,
thank you.
pat yourself on the, or Gio, pat yourself on the back, man.
Yes. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching this broadcast coverage today here on the BC Athletics YouTube channel. I just want to shout out to the main director, Dr. Julian Wilson, for helping me out, teaching me all this for me to take over for when he's busy doing his other job, filming documentaries, which is a pretty high line. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the BC Athletics YouTube channel. Also follow us on our Instagram at the handle GoGatesGo. For Rob, Kenny, and Lisa Kruenquist, cameraman Percy, John, Jesse up here,
Athletics,
on the Dan
Athletics Director Ayanna Tweedy, Carly Flowers, Todd Hansen, Lori Ambrose, you said Annalisa, everybody in the
Daryl.
athletics office, Chris Sanchez, for making sure we get the ejected player off the sideline.
Our pregame squad,
and
too.
for making sure,
Todd,
yeah.
VP.
Yeah, Tom Myers down there in the
VP,
pregame show.
Get well.
Yeah, get well, VP. Hopefully you're going to be right back here in 3 weeks for the pregame show. And we'll see you here next week against Pasadena College. God bless you.
Good night, everyone.
Bakersfield College Athletics thanks you for watching this broadcast. For more BC Athletics sports videos, highlights, and replays, subscribe to Bakersfield College Athletics on YouTube. And for news, live broadcasts, and schedule information across all our sports, visit GoGades.com. Bakersfield College Athletics thanks you for watching this broadcast. For more BC Athletics sports videos, highlights, and replays, subscribe to Bakersfield College Athletics on YouTube. And for news, live broadcasts, and schedule information across all our sports, visit GoGades.com. Bakersfield College Athletics thanks you for watching this broadcast. For more BC Athletics sports videos, highlights, and replays, subscribe to Bakersfield College Athletics on YouTube. And for news, live broadcasts, and schedule information across all our sports, visit GoGades.com.